FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1.
Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All right, welcome into another edition of the JP Peterson Show on this Thursday, as in 13. Can you spell Thursday, T-H-I-R, Thursday, 13? See what I did there? Yeah. This could be the day where the Rays put themselves into baseball immortality. Now, Friday could be an even bigger day, but we'll just start with Thursday and tying the record. Welcome in to another edition here of the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the Jeeves Law Group, Jeeves lawgroup.com, and Bay Area Modern Medical Center, presenting our first hour here. And boy, we are going to get into some Rays talk today. So many storylines to last night's game with Taj Bradley and Rosarena and the comeback by the Red Sox and nailing it down as the Rays win 9-7 last night to complete their 12th consecutive win to start the season. If you don't know, the record is 13 by the 82 Braves, who my good friend Brian Fasulo used to be a bat boy for when he was growing up in West Palm Beach.
Not a bad gig.
So when I presented, can you give me the whole lineup? Yeah, he gave me the whole lineup and the reserves and the guys that pitched out of the bullpen and everything else. And the 87 Brewers as well. This is big time stuff. And it's kind of all been fun and games to this point, but now you have a chance to really reach baseball immortality today, this afternoon at the Trop, where I guess they're offering $10 tickets for the lower bowl. Let's go fill it up. Let's go cheer on the Rays today.
Yeah, I'm considering myself. I mean, this show's done at 12. We're about 15 minutes away from the Trop here at CP Communications. Mm-hmm. I brought the jersey just in case. I'll put it that way.
I got a hat on.
You got a hat on? Yeah. I brought the jersey. I brought the hat. I'm ready to roll. I think, and I'm by the end of this show, the more we talk about it, I'm probably going to be in that stadium today.
Maybe I'll go with you. We'll both go grab a couple $10 tickets.
There we go.
Yeah.
I think it sounds like a good Thursday afternoon to me to see the best team in baseball. Let's witness history.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice little double dip tonight. You got to work the Lightning game against the Red Wings, but let's just be honest. The game means absolutely nothing.
If Tuesday was an exhibition, then this is a practice.
I would be even shocked tonight if Kucherov and Stamkos and some of the main players even play tonight. I think we're going to get there's really no reason to play them tonight. Zero reason. So unless they want to just get out there and skate a little bit. And, I don't think there's hey, we got to prove we can play defense now. We're past that.
Yeah.
We're past that. I think we all know the team quit. I want to say quit. Quit's a bad word, but, they just didn't take it as seriously once everything was locked in, and which was, actually pretty much a manifestation of what we've seen all year, that they've kind of been locked in. We've not even come close to see the best of what the Lightning have to offer. I'm convinced of that. We'll get into that in a little bit. But this is all about the Rays early on, so we'll hit that. And we're also going to get to this inevitable Mike Bianchi pain in the ass column about how the Orlando deserves the Rays and Tampa Bay does not.
I can tell you right now, being in the same media rooms as Mike Bianchi at UCF, nobody knows how to stir up a fan base and get them going more than Mike Bianchi.
And I laugh because, I've worked, have had Bianchi on my show before. I've been, we've been working the same beats for 35 years, cover Florida State. And I think he's a really good columnist, and he knows how to do it. He knows how to poke the bear. He knows exactly how to do it, and he don't care. I'm going to try to get him on the show tomorrow. He don't care. He'll come on, and he does not care. He loves to have people hate him. He
gets into it with Paul Feinbaum a lot.
Yeah.
When he goes on Feinbaum, it's always like appointment television when he's on.
Yeah. So he's old school. He's kind of like I don't want to put him in the big dogs class or Chris Thomas's class, but he's old school. He does radio in Orlando as well. I think he does a morning show too, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So hopefully we can get him on, and because he's a pretty busy dude. But it's it's the old. You don't know what's going on here locally.
Unless you're here. Yeah.
You have no. From afar, I get it. It doesn't look great. But if you've lived it here and you know what the situation is, we know why people don't go to the Trop. We know what the whole situation is. So just shut.
Well,
STFU.
I'll tell you this, and we'll get into it.
I say that with all.
Yeah.
And I know Mike would love to hear me say that.
We'll get into the column later, but I will say off the top here concerning last night. A round of applause to the Rays fans. 17,100 and change.
Yeah.
On a Wednesday night.
Yeah. On the day he writes that column, idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very fitting.
Yeah.
17,000 on a Wednesday night.
Yeah. That's really good. I mean,
really good.
And especially, it wasn't Red Sox fans that are coming out.
No. These are Rays fans.
These are Rays fans. There's so much different going on right now with this team, and I'm here to tell you, part of this winning streak goes to the fans.
Yep.
Because let's just be honest, in years past, especially in April when the Lightning are still in it, the Rays have been a complete afterthought because it's all about the Lightning. Now, of course, the last few games of the Lightning season, they've been on the road and they've had things locked up. So I don't think there has been the intensity of the playoff push. But the playoffs start next week. How much more attention do the Lightning get than the Rays? Well, if the Rays are playing like this, they're going to continue to garner a lot of attention. There's no question about it. The Rays have never started like this, so that's another different thing. The Rays have never marketed like this.
No.
Never marketed like this. And last night we saw the alternate broadcast with Doug Wechter and Matt Joyce going all over Tropicana Field, showing off a lot of their new stuff that they have that people don't know about, quite frankly.
Behind-the-scenes stuff, too.
Super stuff. I mean, this is stuff they've never done, and this is stuff that we have been bitching about for how long? Because I know other teams do this stuff. They've been doing the ballpark passes and all this other stuff for years and years and years, and there's always been this feeling from the Rays, we started this years and years ago because we knew it. We watched it. They never marketed the team, not like other teams do. And there was an agenda by Stuart Sternberg that he did not want. He just didn't care because he was getting all the revenue share money. Why spend extra money to market the team when you can just get the revenue sharing money for nothing? From a business standpoint, it was kind of a no-brainer, but it's also completely deceptive, and it's terrible for your fans, and it's terrible for your players. It's good for your pocketbook, but that's all it's ever good for, and typically that's how they operate. But this is different. They are actually making efforts to get fans into the Trop.
Yeah.
And that is, whether that's Major League Baseball's mandate, somebody else is running this team, I don't know. But between the long-term contracts that we've seen in the last couple of years, year and a half, and these marketing ideas, this is a complete flip. This is a complete flip from how they've run this franchise.
Yeah, and we don't know what's going on, but, I mean,
I don't care.
I don't really care. I'm going to give credit to the team for doing the right thing finally, and I think the fans, I mean, they've made it a point to mend fences a little bit with the fans going forward. They know that they've had a lot of missteps, enough of having, the tail tied behind you and having to apologize and this kind of stuff. They've made an effort. And by the way, they got a team that's worth marketing. Yeah. Let's put that out there as well. Yeah. They have bona fide stars. I mean, yesterday, it was music to my ears. Randy Arozarena comes up to bat in like the 6th or 7th inning, and I turned the TV up and I told Casey was on her phone, and I said, "You hear that?" And it was Randy. You got a full Tropicana Field chanting Randy when this guy comes to the plate. You got the entire left field section, which they have the whole all rise thing in right field for Aaron Judge. We need something out there for Randy Arozarena because that has turned into the place to sit now because you want to interact with this guy. They have a team that's worth marketing. Oh, and by the way, they're off to a historic start, 12-0, by the way. Yeah. It's fun to go to these games right now.
Absolutely. It is.
It makes all the other issues, it makes them less of a hurdle, I guess. I'll put it that way. You got the other issues, like the logistical things, like the drive and this and that.
Of course.
It makes it less of a thing now.
Right. Because it's worth it. You feel like the organization is actually reaching out to the fans, and fans want to feel good about spending their hard-earned money when they go to these events. They don't want to be like begrudgingly, this owner's an a-hole. They don't do this, they don't do that, but I still want to go to the game.
And you've made it very affordable to those fans.
Exactly.
With the $10 tickets.
Which is so important because of this market size, and the mean income of this market is so low, and it's one of the lowest mean incomes of the major market, if not I think it's definitely the lowest of the top 25 markets. And that means something. You have to incentivize people to get there. You just can't throw out a $70 outfield ticket as your cheapest ticket and go, come on over to the ballpark. It ain't working. Nobody's doing that. We said that last year and when the year before. It doesn't work. You can't price your own fans out of your own stadium and just hope that the Yankee fans and the other fans come, the Cardinal fans last year, some of these other fans come in and pay the higher prices. Yeah. That sucks. That's such a bad thing to do to your fans. But all that's changed now. So we embrace it, and my bigger point is it helps the team win. You don't think having 17,000 people last night helped them to win? You don't think on an afternoon game and with school is still in, like today, I'm guessing they're probably going to get another 18,000. I mean, I want to go. It's history. Let's go. Get us some tickets. We'll take a break in here a little bit. We'll dial up some tickets.
We'll buy them and we'll go.
Let's go. Yeah. I mean, I got some things I'm supposed to do today, but you know what? This is my job.
Well, I was going to watch the Rays anyway.
I was going to watch the Rays anyway and work, so maybe I'll take my laptop to the game.
It's early enough that I can get home and steer clear of all this Taylor Swift traffic today, which is going to be absolutely insane.
Yeah, I'm going tomorrow night. Cannot wait.
Yeah, but avoid that area at all costs if you're not going to be down there.
It's the Gandy today.
So good thing that the game's early. You can get away from that. So, I mean, they're just a fun watch in general. They're just a fun watch right now, and you want to be in the ballpark, and we've never actually been able to say that.
Yeah, so we got the Rays going for 13, a Major League record today, tying a Major League record. We got Taylor Swift at Raymond James tonight.
Yeah.
And we got the Lightning and the Red Wings at Amalie tonight as well.
That's Tampa Bay right there.
Tampa Bay. And the weather's going to be great tomorrow. I don't know what it's going to be like tonight.
I hope it's a little bit better than what we're seeing down south.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, my friends down in Hollywood sending me some video of the water coming up to their door.
Crazy.
Yeah, there's disabled cars all over the place in Fort Lauderdale and Miami. They've gotten 22 inches of rain in like 48 hours.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Well, sunny and 79 tonight here in Tampa by the time the Swift concert starts. So there
beautiful.
You go.
So beautiful. So, all right, let's get into last night's game and the story of Taj Bradley. John Romano, I thought, wrote a great column about how he got called up. The manager in Durham called everybody into the locker room and was like, okay, we get a call up and started giving clues. This guy was drafted in 2018. He was 17 when he's drafted, and Taj was like, wait, that's me. And then they announced it, and within 24 hours, he's on a plane. Like, he's got to get to a plane while it's boarding. To get to Tampa to be the starting pitcher when you're going for 12 in a row against the Boston Red Sox to keep the streak going. Oh, no pressure there for a 22-year-old. No pressure at all. And he looks so young.
Yeah.
He looks so young. But his stuff is absolutely exquisite. I've never seen it from those angles. I've seen him pitch in spring training and what have you, but not from those angles, not from a Major League Baseball broadcast. And can I just say, this kid has got electric stuff.
Yep.
That curveball and the way he was controlling the curveball. And if you're watching on TV, he's hitting those little corners of the strike box with the curveball. I mean, it was like that one right there. You just showed on Twitter. That is so freaking nasty. The break on that pitch, the tightness of that pitch, and you could see these Major League hitters, some really good Major League hitters, just absolutely befuddled by what he was throwing last night. And he was, what do you have, 8 strikeouts?
8 strikeouts. And how about only 1 walk, and it was the first batter of the game.
He was amped.
Where he was clearly a little too amped up, and he was a little all over the place with his command.
Yeah.
But then he comes right back, and he strikes out Devers, who outside of that home run last night has had a pretty rough go against these Rays pitchers.
Yeah.
But you strike out a guy like that, that to me got him back. That got him in the game, I thought.
Yeah, it really did. And he just – I could not have been more impressed with his composure in that moment. How about his mom?
Oh, his mom was the story.
She drives down from Atlanta, gets in the car in the morning, drives down on her birthday, which is pretty freaking cool. And she's sitting there in the stands with a scorebook, and she charts every pitch. She keeps the newspaper clippings when there are newspaper clippings. She keeps all the memorabilia. What a great mother-son story. That's just fantastic.
It's like, and even when like he got his first strikeout and like the camera immediately panned over to her, and she's like just calm, cool. All she was doing was just filling out her scorecard. She was locked in there with him. I mean, Dwayne Stats said she's doing it in pen too. By the way, his mama doesn't make mistakes. I mean, I thought she was as big of the story last night as Taj was.
Yeah, it was that. You talk about a feel-good story. I mean, that was a feel-good story.
Yeah, and how about, too, which, by the way, Greg Allman covering baseball. Greg on baseball last night.
Greg on baseball.
Love to see it. And he put this little note out there this morning that he initially committed to play at HCC.
Yeah,
I did not know this until this morning.
Hillsborough Community College, and then became a fifth-round pick of the Rays. And the Rays offered him $757,000.
Yeah, more than double his slot.
Yeah, to good move for the Rays. Really good move for the Rays. And who could have really thought back? I mean, look how slight he is now. He doesn't look like a whole lot. And when imagine when this kid gets his man strength.
Yeah, and they already said he's transformed his body a lot since 2019.
Well, yeah, and he's not that big right now. He's tall kid. He's got a frame where he can put on some more weight and some more. Not that he needs to. I mean, his power is – he was hitting 97 last night. And with his mix of pitches, and that curveball it just levitates. It levitates. It's so good. I mean, that's – honestly, in that situation, that's got to be about 60% of what he could be. Seriously. I mean, everything that he was put through, and maybe the adrenaline helped him. I don't know. But to me, he had a lot going against him yesterday. Travel – the pressure of the situation, all of that, and he handled it with such ease. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
That's a wow moment for me.
Yeah, nice, a bright, illuminating smile as
well.
well.
Oh, my gosh.
Which
how likable is this kid?
He was enjoying it. I mean, he got into a little bit of trouble there in the fifth inning, obviously, but, I mean, all things considered, and again, when you have that offense behind you, how about the Rays offense, by the way, giving him a nice little jump after that first inning?
Well, do you have the Randy home run?
Yep.
Let's play the Randy home run and play it all the way through because I think there's some analysis on the back end of the pitch that he hit. I don't know how the hell he hit this pitch out. This is one of them. It's not even a strike. It's under the strike zone on the outside corner coming from Chris Sale, whose release point's about 3 feet outside the mound, and it's tailing in, and he still puts this into the front row in right field.
He can really angle it well.
Fly ball the other way into right. Verdugo's going to have to go back. Feeling for the wall. And that ball is out of here.
Yes.
A home run to the opposite field for Randy Arozarena. And the Rays jump to a 3-0 lead.
We didn't get to the analysis part of that, but that pitch was down and away, a slider down and away that went under the strike zone that Randy reached out and got some backspin on. That may have been a juiced ball, whatever, but I don't care. That thing, and the guy in the front row, the kid's ready to catch it. And then the adult, is that his dad again? Do we have another situation here?
I know. We got like Dadgate or something here again.
Yeah, the dad knocked it out of his glove.
Yeah.
And did he have a glove too?
I don't remember.
Yeah. What are we doing here? Come on, dads.
Let the kids get the ball. Let the kids get the ball.
Be better than that. Let the kid make the catch because he had the catch. Yeah, you can replay it. See, the guy.
He doesn't have a glove.
The kid does though, right?
Yeah, the kid has a glove right here, and here comes this older gentleman reaching over him.
You're very kind.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that interference right there.
Come on, what are you doing? Let the kid catch the ball.
And the ball falls to the ground.
Yeah, neither one of you. What a terrible moment. If that's your dad, you're like.
Look at that. He's standing right here as the ball hits the ground. In this moment, he's like, yeah, I effed up. I effed up. And that kid's like, are you freaking kidding me? And this guy, I effed up.
I hope the outfielder threw the kid the ball.
I don't think so.
Come on. How could you not? Come on.
Go gift that kid the ball or something.
Yeah, that was not a good moment. So anyway, Randy with his, fourth home run of the year?
Yeah, when you're locked in.
Yeah.
You're locked in.
That was
96 like that out of the zone to take that the other way.
Yeah, I thought it was a slider. Was it a fastball?
It was a fastball. It was 96.
Even tougher. Even tougher.
Moving.
I mean, come on. Jiminy Christmas. What a game. And then of course, it goes from a 7-1 game to an 8-7 game, and then great hustle by Wander Franco. What a game Wander Franco had. She's another 2 doubles. 3 doubles, just ridiculous, and scores that 9th run, which ended up giving him a nice cushion for the 9th. And a play where the ball went out to Verdugo in right field. And I don't know what was going on with him. Like he made a diving catch and threw it in quickly, but it was a terrible throw.
And you could see by his reaction, it seemed like he didn't know that Franco was over there at third.
Yeah.
Or he forgot how many outs there were. I mean, he knew that he screwed up in that moment. He clearly elapsed a judgment there by Verdugo, helping the Rays. You cannot give this team right now those things.
Well, how about the Red Sox in the first inning? You know, they an error, should have got Franco on the steal.
Yeah.
It was basically a pitch out. The catcher spikes the ball.
Yeah, and even
basically terrible throw.
Later in the game, where Brujan comes up to bat with guys on, I want to say first and second, and he drops a bunt to Chris Sale, and here comes was it Dahlbeck? Not Dahlbeck. He was playing short.
Dahlbeck was playing short.
Whoever was playing first base last night for Boston, Casas. There you go. He runs into a bunt that slapped right in front of Chris Sale and leaves first base.
What are you doing?
Yu Chang is like shaded well over like to that side of second base and has to like sprint all the way over. You're not catching Brujan like that.
No.
It was a comedy of errors last night from Boston.
Well, that's, and these are the things that the Rays are not doing. The Rays are playing tight baseball. They're playing.
Well, outside of the Margot, was it the Margot and Harold kind of miscommunication in the outfield?
But honestly,
outside of that.
Honestly, that one was perfectly placed between them. That's one of those tweeners that, all right, professional teams, you've got to be able to make that play. But both were in a full sprint to get to that point. I don't think either one of them knew that they had it, so they didn't call it. It was just perfectly placed, so I'm not going to really bitch about that one.
Yeah,
we're talking about elementary mistakes that Boston's making.
Yes.
That's a tweener mistake. It's going to happen. But Taylor Wall's made some great plays at third.
Yep.
Back in the lineup. So they're playing spectacular defense. Their pitching is off the rails. Their offense, they're still winning. They're winning. Their average winning margin is still 6 runs a game.
Yeah.
6 runs a game.
And now 30 home runs.
30 home runs. They're out homering more than the other team has runs.
Yeah.
These numbers are just off the charts.
To the point, though, about the pitching, I think yesterday was the first time we got an extended look at the bullpen.
Not good. Not great.
I need to understand. I just want to know, like, because it's honest.
Colin Poche,
it's just
portion of the broadcast.
I'm sorry, but
Nick
like
Gates.
I can't resist. Like, how many times we see this happen last year? He comes up in a big spot, and listen, was it literally the night before or the day before that where he got himself in it and he got out of it, to his credit?
Because Devers swung through 3 meaty pitches.
Yeah, and Thompson did not have his good stuff at all yesterday, so he kind of creates a situation. But here comes Poche to face Devers, and I know the numbers. Like, Devers was like 0 for 8 with like 7 Ks, I think, against Poche coming into that.
Mm-hmm.
But it just seems like every time something like that happens, it's always Colin Poche. Gives up the home run.
And that bat the other day, I was like, just like I just said, those 3 pitches that he threw, Devers was like, how did I miss those 3 pitches? Even the one that struck him out that he didn't swing at was 93, right down the middle of the plate, a little lower in the zone, but that's his hot spot. And he just didn't even swing. But he didn't miss that one. He didn't miss that one. And so you felt that one coming. At least I did. I was like, this is not
a little bit.
This is not going to end well, and it did not. But that made it 8-7, which you got. I think you want to see the Rays playing a tight game. You want to see Fairbanks come in and do his job, and that's what they did.
Yeah, and I will say too. I mean, last night presented more challenges than they've had all season long.
Mm-hmm.
I believe this is the most runs they've given up all season.
Yeah.
You had a guy who was starting his first game in Major League Baseball against a lineup that has the ability to score runs. We know that. And you face a tough lefty in Chris Sale, who they got to. By the way, what did he give up? 6 runs, Chris Sale?
Yep.
So they were able to get to him as well. And then you have to use your bullpen more than you have to have throughout the season. Fairbanks finally gets a save opportunity, by the way, and he was absolute nails there when he got into the 9th inning. So the Rays are just they've proven to me throughout this stretch they can play any type of baseball you want. You want to get into a slugfest? We'll outslug you. You want to play a really tight game? We're not going to make the same mistakes you make.
Right.
Like last night. If Boston doesn't make some of those mistakes, this game might be completely different.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the difference. It's the difference. And the Rays are playing with a mid-season form execution level that is rare in April. It really is. So here's some of the numbers. There's plus 65 run differential, scoring a major's most 92 runs, including 30 homers, and allowing a major's least 27. 27 is the best through 12 games in the modern era. The best. So they've already set records since 1901. Of their 108 innings played, they have trailed at the end of just 5. I mean, think about that. They're 12 games in. They've trailed at the end of an inning just 5 times in Major League Baseball. That is just incomprehensible. It's incomprehensible. And, is there a measure of luck there? Probably a little. But these guys, there's no mistaking the fact that these guys are extremely talented. Extremely talented. And I don't, the first 4 teams that they've played, I don't think any of them are going to find their way to the playoffs. But still, it's Major League Baseball, and this is something super special.
Yeah, and you don't have – listen, I don't think they have to prove anything to me. I don't think they have to prove anything to you or Rays fans. But you know what? If you want to get rid of that narrative, you got 4 against Toronto, who's playing really good baseball now. You got 4 against them on the road, and that place is going to be rocking this week.
When does that start?
That starts tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow at 7 o'clock. So you got a 3-game set against Toronto. Go out there and take 2 out of 3 against Toronto. What are they going to say then? What are they going to say then?
I have a friend that's going up to Toronto this weekend and then going to catch the game 1, which probably will be Tuesday up in Toronto of the Lightning series.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
So nice little it'll be a nice little Tampa Bay versus Toronto.
Let's get a head start on that matchup, huh?
Yeah. Why would you
get
not?
Some good vibes going into that because the Lightning need some good vibes, obviously. So why don't the Rays get it going here?
Yeah. Bring Stamkos out for batting practice on Monday. Or they'll be there Friday,
Is Stamkos
Saturday,
rooting
Sunday.
for the Rays or is he rooting for the Blue Jays?
I don't know. Last I remember when he took batting practice, he put a couple out.
What if Kiermaier just put on? What if he took batting practice in a Lightning jersey? Could you imagine?
He's a big
the
Lightning
vitriol.
Fan.
He's a Lightning fan.
How about KK shows up in a Lightning jersey and Stamkos shows up in a Blue Jays jersey? Which, by the way,
World would have a meltdown.
We don't care. They grew up there. Well, Stamkos grew up there. KK's a Lightning. Come on, we don't. It'll be fine. The world will survive. Guys have different allegiances because they grew up, and that's okay. That's okay.
Although Alex Golish, I don't need to see you ever wear a Yankee jersey again. I draw the line there. I don't care that he grew up in New York. I draw the line there.
I will agree. You have to put in some time here and get some good vibes going here before you can just show up in a Yankees jersey. Misstep.
Misstep number 1.
No, misstep number 5.
Oh, get out of it.
1 through 4 being the gum chewing. Oh my. But hey, they got the spring game coming up. We're excited about that. All right, let's do Taj first. It's such a great story. Here's Taj Bradley after the game, Bally Sports Sun with Trisha Whitaker.
What an MLB debut. Congratulations, first off. Tell us how you felt taking the mound today and that energy.
I was pretty calm in the locker room. I talked to my dad and sister before, but going out onto the field, all the fans know your name, saying go get them and everything like that, my heart started going a little bit. And I mean, after the first batter, it kind of settled in, but I was still like in a rush running out there, crossing that line.
5 strong innings. How'd your stuff feel today?
Everything felt great. I could throw strikes when I wanted to. I was in the zone, beating hitters in the zone, and I threw more curveballs than I usually do, and they fell for strikes, so that was exciting. But I don't know, I just felt great. Body felt great. Mental was great. Just excited overall.
How about that run support?
That was amazing, man. I mean, 3-run home run in the first inning. Like, all right, now I know I can go out there and, like I said, beat hitters in zone and make them deal with me. And like I said, the run support was great. I got my first win today because of it, and that's awesome.
Taj, your mom woke up at 5 a.m. today and drove here from Atlanta just to watch you make your MLB debut. How meaningful was it to have her in the stands, and just what has she meant to your journey?
That means everything. No matter where I was playing, I was going to get her here somehow. But for her to hit the road at 5 with my brother, that's amazing. And like, it's her birthday today, so that's a great present I can give to her. Obviously, she's probably going to want something else, but for now, this is what I'll give her for the day.
Your birthday message to your mom, who I'm sure has been your backbone throughout your career.
I mean, I love you. I'm happy, like, this is able to happen on your birthday. I usually never see her because of the season, and I don't know, we made it. Like, I kept looking up over there where it says St. Petersburg welcomes you, because that's where we took our first picture in the Trop, me and her after I signed. So, I mean, that was a big momentum for me, and I'm just happy I get to spend it with her after the game.
I wonder what his paycheck was for last night. So I think it's the minimum is like $750. So I'm doing it on my, and then is it like divided by the games?
Mm-hmm.
I would think. So 4,600, about $7 after taxes. So yeah, So 40. He made about $5,000 last night. There's probably some type of bonus for getting called up or some. Hell, your per diem's pretty for a minor league player. Your per diem is probably $500 or something.
I wonder when we're going to see him again because he was sent down to AAA this morning. But this is a good little. This is a cool thing. Like obviously the Rays usually like to protect the service time thing. Yeah. This is a little bit of a different thing that they've done here. Mm-hmm. The fact that he got a look, but now you can see what he can do. He composed himself really well. We already mentioned that the situation that he walked into was going to be like a pressure cooker, and he handled himself so well. He had a lot of fun. He was commanding his pitches. I mean, I'm excited to see this guy if he gets up here later in the season now.
Well, my question is, why does he go back? If Eflin's on the DL for an extended period of time, he's 15 days at least, right?
Yeah.
I haven't looked at the schedule. They may have some days off, but why would you not? I guess you can always call him back up.
I think maybe you want to continue to get him because I don't know how consistently they'd be able to get him in because Eflin. It sounds like Eflin's IL trip is like almost precautionary. Like he should be back on the first day that he's ready to go. And then it sounds like all things are pointing to Glasnow being ready to go in May. So I don't think he'd be up here that long to begin with anyway.
Well, I also think there's going to be more injuries to the pitching staff. Obviously, that's just the attrition that happens here. And he's going to be up soon enough. But there's just, that was electric stuff.
Yeah, and as I said yesterday, he was going to light it up, and all his clips are going to be on social media. And everybody on these other fan bases and all these other media, how the hell do they keep getting away with it? That's what everybody keeps saying. How the hell? Because this wasn't a first-round draft pick. This was a fifth-round pick.
Fifth-round pick.
And he's become now a top 15 prospect in baseball, number 1 in the Rays. They did it again, folks.
They did it again.
Why
do they draft better in the 5th and 3rd and 4th and 6th than they do in the 1st? They suck at first-round picks.
You say the same about the Lightning.
Yeah, probably true. Yeah. Well, they've hit on a few.
A little bit, but a lot of the core though has come through the old core. But the current one, a lot of them have come through the 2nd and 7th rounds.
Yeah, well, they haven't had any first-round picks in a while.
They traded all of them.
Well, they haven't, and I'm glad they did. Absolutely, get proven players that can come up and help you win cups now. Duh. All right, let's listen to Kevin Cash. Let's get Kevin Cash in here before we take our first break.
You can tell he had some jitters early on, kept missing up with the fastball, but credit him, a young pitcher that's really talented for kind of harnessing it, and then the stuff really played. The fastball played, the slider kind of got him back in the zone, and then he dropped some pretty nasty-looking curveballs to some good hitters, so really happy for Taj. It does feel like that. I mean, Randy and Wander have been right in the middle of a lot of things. Randy, I don't think he really got that ball, hit it kind of off the end of the bat, but strong guy, carried out and gave us a big momentum. I mean, sometimes when you're going up against a really good pitcher in Chris Sale, and we got a really young pitcher with Taj, we talked about before the game, giving him some runs. Hopefully that settled him a little bit. We're swinging the bats well. Wander's on fire right now. Even that add-on run at the end, you'll take him however you can get him. Randy coming up with a sac fly. But yeah, I mean, it's a very typical Rays Red Sox game where it's kind of some back and forth. Felt like we had a chance to separate it, but shame on me for thinking that because Boston's pretty good.
By the way, I was just they were showing the Randy home run there again while Cash was speaking. Mm-hmm. My investigative eyes, that was a Red Sox fan who was reaching over with no glove to try to take that ball away from the young Rays fan with the glove. It was a Red Sox fan.
Jerk.
What are you doing?
Jerk.
Coming into our stadium, trying to take our home run away.
How predictable is that?
And you know those Boston people, man.
Yeah. Sox suck. Yeah. We need to find out.
That's tragic. That's tragic. They should have thrown him out of the game.
That booted.
Take a trip downstairs.
Yeah.
Do they still have that, by the way? The whole thing like under the stadium where they send the drunk fans or the fans.
They have it at Raymond James.
They have it at Raymond James. Do they still have that in the Rays?
No, I don't think so.
Or they just throw you straight out. Or they just throw you straight out of the stadium.
Straight out.
Straight out.
Get out.
Good.
Get out.
Good.
Go terrorize somebody else. Yeah, that's big news. I want to find out who that guy is. Come, and of course with the Red Sox, I don't know who's the outfielder there. Get the ball and Verdugo, throw it to the Red Sox fan instead of the kid. Yeah, he'd do that.
Why do you even want that ball if you're that fan?
It's a home run ball.
Yeah, against your team.
Yeah, true. Give it to the kid.
Yeah.
Give it to the freaking kid. Part of the 13 game, hopefully.
They're going 13.
Yeah.
I saw some Boston reporters that were in the clubhouse afterward, and one of them for The Athletic, he said that he hasn't been in a clubhouse that looked that demoralized than the one that he walked into last night with the Red Sox.
Really?
Like, it's early in the season. Things are going really wrong for them right now. And he said the clubhouse was demoralized, was the word he said yesterday. And he called it very awkward.
Really?
Speaking to the players and speaking to Alex Cora.
Wow.
So that team right now is shaking up big time.
Chaim Bloom. The bloom is off the Chaim.
Chaim Bloom is public enemy number one in Boston.
He should be.
Over his skis, they said, to try to control a big market team.
Yeah, I think that's pretty evident. Isn't that weird? Like too much. He's got too much money to spend, and hasn't spent it.
But doesn't spend it though.
No, it's funny because you try to do this hybrid thing, and I think Andrew Friedman's found the, but he struggled for a little while too early on. Mm-hmm. You know, you got to find that balance of, you know, to me it seems like you're either one way all in or the other way all in.
Yeah.
And kind of doing a hybrid is.
And we said it. Look at what Boston did this offseason and what they did last year at the deadline too. Everybody was like, "What the hell are they doing? Like, what's the goal here?"
Right.
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't sound like to me, you're kind of just playing to be stuck in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. It's the middle part.
And I think that's where the vitriol from Red Sox fans has come right now.
I just think you're when you have that type of payroll, you got to pay. What you do is you pay your big stars. You stay with the large payroll, but maybe the owners are going, hey, you know, we want what Sternberg's getting, $200 million in profit every year. So go get me a good baseball team, and we want to pocket $200 million.
I don't know their whole situation inside and out, but wasn't there something about the taxes that they were having to pay on players? And that was the big reason why they didn't re-sign Mookie Betts?
Well, yeah, because you get to the luxury tax,
like
and it's like paying them double.
Yeah, it sounded like they had
that money goes to
they
guess who?
Had to. Yeah, it sounded like they had to almost balance the checkbooks a little bit anyway.
Right. Well, they don't. But
they shouldn't have to.
They don't.
It's Boston.
You know, it's Boston. Your revenues are well into the 400 millions. You know,
their loss is the Rays game.
Local TV and tickets and everything else, you're well into the 400 millions, and you don't need to have a $69 million payroll.
No.
So don't act like
you
do.
That's the beauty of it. The Tampa Bay Rays.
You keep the Bogarts and these other Mookie Betts. You keep those guys. That's the Yankee way. That's the Red Sox way.
The old Red Sox would have done that without a hesitation.
Yeah, for trying to change that, what you need, what I think he should have done is stayed with the good part of that, right, and then develop your superstar or develop your drafting and your prospects and keep your superstars.
Yeah.
You know, but then here's the thing about that is the Rays always trade those guys for more prospects. And I don't know if they've gotten any, I haven't really dug down deep into what Boston has done. I just see the results, and it's not good. And they're losing big-name players.
And I see them bringing in a lot of guys who were on the Rays, who had magic, like Corey Kluber now is on the Red Sox. He put him out there on opening day to get shelled. And I think he's probably going to get shelled again today.
I think he will, too.
I think he's past it. Remember last year they signed Michael Wacha and Rich Hill? Mm-hmm. Who was playing second base yesterday for the Red Sox? Yu Chang.
Yeah.
Trying to sign all these Rays cast off. They ain't slick. I see it.
Sorry, Chaim.
Go ahead and say it, though.
What?
Boston's our
bitch.
There you go.
They have been for a while.
There you go.
What if we get the Bruins in the playoffs and we beat them? And we have Gronk starting doing a Tesla course.
Yeah, because Gronk's a Tampa guy now. Can we just agree on that? He's not a Boston guy. He's a Tampa guy now.
He just doesn't. Gronk especially does not fit the Boston.
He's a Tampa guy.
He's a Tampa guy.
He's adopted that.
He's on the beach.
If this dude was going to be
shirt off,
if
shorts,
this dude went to the
running
Strawberry
around with
Festival.
Tom Brady.
He went to the Strawberry Festival.
There you go.
He's a Tampa guy.
He's a Tampa guy. He is. Yeah, that's it.
That's solidified.
You got your card
for me.
now. You got you're a Tampa card carrying resident. So welcome. And Boston is now your bitch.
And Tom was a lot more fun when he was here, just saying.
Tampa Tom was so much more fun than Boston Tom. I mean, you could like Tampa Tom. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back on the other side. I want to get into this Bianchi column, though. I want to give you a little feel for what this BS is all about. Talk about Orlando. You look so jealous. You look so jealous. And, you're just such a. I can't wait to get into. I'm not an Orlando fan at all, as you might tell. We'll be back right after this. Brought to you by Jeeves Law Group. Stay with us. Guys, are you experiencing those feelings of getting older, lower sex drive, fatigue, hot flashes, moodiness, or you just don't feel like you had the vitality you once had? It's a chronic problem here in the United States. You're not just getting old, it's likely low testosterone. Studies over the last 20 years show a shocking decline in younger males aged 16 to 39. Older men have seen a sharp decline as well, so do something about it. Go see my friend Christopher Lugo at Bay Area Modern Medicine. Look, testosterone replacement is not a frivolous treatment. It takes a professional, targeted approach that focuses on total body wellness, vitality, and emotional stability, not a one-size-fits-all approach like many clinics use. They will monitor your blood work and adjust your treatment as needed for optimal results. Folks, I've been on testosterone therapy for over 6 years, and it is a life changer. You will feel and look better than you did 10 years ago. Give them a call at 844-977-3477 or go to BAMMC.com. Tell them JP sent you for priority scheduling. That's 844-977-3477 or BAMMC.com. JP here for the Jeeves Law Group. Have you been injured in an accident, in an auto accident, truck accident, motorcycle accident, at work, or at a place of business? Well, call the Jeeves Law Group and get the personal attention that you deserve. I made the mistake many, many years ago with going with one of the bigger law firms, the national law firms. And let me tell you, getting a call back from those folks was next to impossible. Weeks and weeks would go by, never get a call back. That doesn't happen with the Jeeves Law Group. Personal attention is what they're all about. When you call the Jeeves Law Group, you will be part of the family. They will represent you in a vigorous and aggressive way against the insurance companies. These larger companies will promise bigger settlements, but it's the Jeeves Law Group that will get you the best results. If you're tired of dealing with these bigger law firms, check out the Jeeves Law Group. Go to JeevesLawGroup.com, tell them JP sent you, get a free consultation. It's the Jeeves Law Group. Scott Jeeves has been representing clients in the Tampa Bay area for over 25 years. Give them a call. It's a free call, 727-894-2929, 727-894-2929, or go to JeevesLawGroup.com. Hey guys, JP here for the Gold and Diamond Source. There is no better place to shop for jewelry than the Gold and Diamond Source. We know that. They are the family jewelers, and they will treat you like family. It's always a fun experience. Just head on over there. You will not find a better selection anywhere in the world. It's a jewelry super center. They've got engagement rings, necklaces, earrings, pendants, chains, and thousands of diamonds to choose from. They're all right there. They don't have to ship anything in. They have jewelry for every price range as well. Guys, if you're looking for some of those baller watches, they have a great selection. They have new and used. You can get some great collectibles there as well. And if you're looking for some more affordable gold and diamond jewelry, you have to check out the Emily collection from Emily Johnson Weintraub. Emily created this collection for people who want to wear and stack elaborate jewelry but don't want to pay the big ticket prices. You got to check this stuff out. The Gold and Diamond Source has plenty of options to accommodate any budget, interest-free financing for up to 5 years, and a layaway program, 20% down and only 6 monthly payments. And this month only, get up to 15% off the March birthstone, which is aquamarine. Like we always say, keep it local, folks. The Gold and Diamond Source, Julie and Steve Weintraub, such great philanthropic benefactors. So let's keep it all local here when we have the opportunity, right? It's the Gold and Diamond Source, 3800 Olmerton Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com. All right, this is for all you guys who don't want to go to the gym and do 5,000 crunches. At Bay Area Modern Medical Center, you can get on the new True Body machine where you can reduce fat and tone up your muscle. It's like doing 54,000 crunches in just 15 minutes. Define your body as you see fit. True Body offers personalized muscle stimulation that delivers the equivalent of those 54,000 crunches in just 15 minutes. Just get in touch with them at Bay Area Modern Medical Center, BAMMC.com. Chris Lugo and the team over there will set you up on True Body and get amazing results. Non-invasive with comfortable and little to no pain and zero downtime. You can isolate and target those areas that you want to improve and treat multiple areas simultaneously. It's an amazing machine, so check it out at Bay Area Modern Medical Center, BAMMC.com. Well, Fitz the mortgage guy did it again. A listener heard his ad, was going to another big bank, but called Scott Fitzgerald at American Mortgage Services of Tampa, and Fitz saved him $618 on his monthly payment. Are you kidding me? Folks, that's big money. rates are going up, they're going down, they're going all over the place. Scott will shop your loan and save you lender fees and get the best rates. Email him, scott@amstampa.com, or call 813-294-7595. That's Fitz, the mortgage guy. Lots of stuff going on right now, and these rates are going all over the place. You need somebody knowledgeable in the market that will work hard for you and get you the best deal. That's my man, Scott. He's done 3 loans for me, done thousands of loans for local folks here, works with a lot of the coaches and players in the area. He's the guy. 813-294-7595, or go to scott@amstampa.com. Insurance coverage can be confusing and expensive. I mean, where do you start? Which companies can you count on to pay out fast and fair? Well, call the great folks at Italiano Insurance. It's a family-owned business. Jeff and Nat Italiano are carrying on the 60-year-plus tradition of giving amazing customer service and giving back to the community through their annual backpack drive for needy students and their support of the local pediatric cancer patients. But it's the customer service that sets them apart. They can shop all your insurance needs and save you big-time money. Don't hop on the internet and waste time looking at some bogus reviews. Talk to knowledgeable agents and not some voice-generated robot. These are confusing times for homeowners, and Italiano's team of experienced professionals can provide the right coverage for every situation: home, auto, business, life. It's Italiano for all the pieces of your life. Call 813-877-7799 or go to ItalianoInsurance.com.
Let's go. Right now, back to the show with JP on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show. Appreciate you guys joining us, whether it's on YouTube. Please subscribe to our YouTube page and show. You can always watch it there. Also on Facebook and on Twitter. You can get our app, FanStream Sports, all one word. Download the app. You can listen to the show anytime. You can also listen to us as a podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Just Google the JP Peterson Show, and you'll find out how to find us at FanStream Sports as well. You can watch it and listen there on the Listen Live button, FanStreamSports.com or the JPPetersonShow.com. It's all there for you. Very easy. We appreciate y'all jumping on because our numbers have steadily gone up, and we really appreciate you and, of course, our advertisers as well. We're also on RHS TV now, which is an app you can get on Roku or Apple TV. So we're now globally on that one, and I believe last month we got over 30,000 views there. So things are going well. We appreciate you guys supporting the show and jumping in and commenting as well on YouTube. You can comment on Facebook, on Twitter, all that. We'll try to get all your comments in. So I think we got clickbaited, didn't we, by Bianchi?
Mike Bianchi
Son
with
of a bitch.
a little bait and switch, I thought.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, so just for everybody that hasn't
read
read
the whole thing.
You can read the whole thing on the air because he puts this whole thing out on Twitter, gets everybody stirred up. You read the column. I actually had to subscribe to the Orlando Sentinel, by the way, to read this column because I just had to for the show's purposes.
Well, there's so much other stuff that's really good in the Orlando Sentinel.
It's a good paper.
It is a good paper.
It's a very good paper.
Yeah.
But I subscribed to it to get to this column, and there's only 3 graphs about the actual idea of the Rays going to Orlando.
Which is
And he doesn't
silly.
state any reasons of why the Rays should go to Orlando either. It's just about the typical, they don't have people that fill the stadiums and all this kind of stuff. And I guess his money quote here, if you want to call it that, the Tampa Bay area simply doesn't deserve such a quality team. Time to demolish the idea that baseball will ever work there. Raise the Rays, move them to Orlando. And then he puts this logo here, which is absolutely horrendous.
It's so bad.
This is like Orlando Dreamers bad right here.
That looks like something you would see in Disney World for a fake baseball team, right? A fake. Actually, it's not even Disney worthy. As bad as Disney is.
This
now.
is bad.
It's like not even. It's more like I wouldn't even give it SeaWorld. It's like what's that little carnival place they have on International Drive? Whatever the hell that place is.
I know what you're talking about.
It's so bad, and
Look,
you don't even fill the arena for the only team that you have, the Orlando Magic.
Put this. I'm putting it up here on the stream, so everybody, if you haven't seen it, there it is. There it is.
How bad?
Look at that thing.
Oh my God!
I don't know.
It's almost as bad
is.
as the actual Rays logo, the sunburst.
No. This is worse.
That is worse.
That looks like a popcorn bag with a baseball on top that says Orlando Rays.
Yeah, like one of those those that you get at the circus. Yeah.
I'll just tell you this, okay? I was in Orlando for quite some time for college, okay? I like to think I know some of the Orlando people, how they think. And just reading the comments on his column on Twitter.
Oh, God,
nobody from Orlando wants this team.
No.
Nobody does. Okay, there's a market of them that are Rays fans and would love to come to the games, but they would not support a baseball team in Orlando.
No.
Come on.
They can't. They don't support their basketball team, who's horrendous, by the way.
Whoa,
it has been for quite some time.
Back off. This was a much better improvement of a year. Thank you very much.
Oh, you went from the worst team in the league to the third worst team in the league.
Oh, that's a lot better than that. We're competing for the play-in, sir. But they got a better attendance this year, actually. The Magic.
Who's not competing for the play-in, by the way?
My point is, I'll just say this though: if you want to put it in the top half, I did the research on this. In the last 15 years, the Magic have been inside the top half of attendance in NBA. Just twice. Yeah. Just twice. And one of them was this year, and I mean like 15th. Yeah. Like literally on the board.
That shocks me.
So, and I mean, UCF runs the show in Orlando. It runs the show.
Think about that. UCF runs the athletic show in your town, and you want to bring a Major League Baseball franchise and fill the stadium you're going to build for 81 days. Good luck with that. You're a knucklehead.
Yeah, nobody in Orlando is begging for that. That's why there was no groundswell to get the Orlando Dreamers.
Yeah.
When Pat Williams had that whole idea.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
Stick to your little rinky-dink soccer teams and your rinky-dink basketball team and your rinky-dink
and Mike, and I feel like Mike should know this, and I feel like he does know this, but again, he's a master when it comes to these things and getting people riled up.
Exactly.
He knows the issues. He knows. He's close enough to know what the issues are. It's the people that aren't in this area, in this state, that have a false narrative of what's going on here. I read it in the comments. Every time MLB posts something about this team lately, especially, they've been posting a lot more, obviously.
Right.
I read the comments, and people are always like, well, it's a shame nobody gives a crap. It's a shame they play in front of nobody, and this and that. You know, the ignorant statements from the people that are on the outside. I expect a little bit more better, I guess, from Bianchi there, because he knows.
Well, he's just playing to his base.
He's
playing to his base, and they're in Orlando, and to get people pissed off in Tampa Bay and get all riled up and get his name out there. Like I said, the dude knows how to play the game. He's not stupid. He knows exactly what he's doing. He got us, so, he's sitting there laughing. He got you to pay 99 cents for the Orlando. And his bosses are like, oh, my God, we got so many clicks on that. You're fantastic. He's like, I know, they're idiots. That's so good. But, yeah, listen, it's the same thing. You got also people on Twitter like, oh, bring them to Raleigh. We'll be able to. We'll treat them like they need to be treated in Raleigh, because you got nothing else in Raleigh. You got NC State and you got your Hurricanes.
And they support them very well.
They do. Could they support a baseball team for a little while? Who knows?
I think Raleigh would have a good shot, actually.
Yeah, they're not, Charlotte would probably be better, since they've supported their AAA team really, really well over the years.
What's the one? You saw the report too. I think the Utah Jazz owner that came yesterday. He's exploring. He wants Utah, Salt Lake City, to be the next expansion team.
Oh.
So now they're throwing it in the ring, and I've never thought of Salt Lake City. They've never really been mentioned when it came to expansion. This is kind of the first time, but of course, this is all being driven by the owner.
Yeah, and it's an interesting place. It's Colorado, Denver does very, very well with baseball. Coors Field led the league in attendance a few years. And they draw regionally, like Denver. The Rockies draw from Utah and all around that area. So they're kind of a regional draw. But again, it just goes back to the fact that, again, let's do it right here in Tampa Bay before we. And I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but let's get a stadium that's centrally located. Let's get a stadium that's like designed in the last 50 years would be nice and has all the amenities that you should have, the premium seating and all those things, and people will come, for God's sakes, and located.
Steve Carney off the top rope.
What did he say?
Like Jimmy Snuka in the Garden. Oh, my goodness. Just like how they won a national championship in college football, Orlando will always be the land of imagination. Steve Carney had time this morning.
Yes, the Dreamers, the Walt Disney World, fantasy world, fantasy land that you're living in there. Go ride the teacups, Bianchi.
I'm going to have to find this. Somebody said a few years back.
Go get on Snow White's Wild Ride.
Somebody said in the comments a few years back
Mr. Toad's whatever the hell it is.
Somebody wrote in the comments that a few years back, Bianchi wrote a column saying the Bucs should move to London. Was that a thing? I'm out now that I have my Sentinel.
You really go back and research some of his ridiculous columns.
I'm gonna type that in. Hold on.
The dude knows how to play the game.
My
I
gosh.
give him credit. Bucks, Rays, and Bolts. Hello to you this morning, Jeremy Love, Randy. Yes, we love it. Last night felt like a ball game where some adversity hit and they fought back, says Lonnie Wilkins. I agree. Get over the trop, guys. Get yourself a Mr. Softy helmet.
A Mr. Softy helmet.
What does that mean? Oh, because we want like
no, like they have like the little
amenities from the 2000s.
Hey, everybody loves. Have you seen that Softy line?
The Mr. Softy.
The
line?
Mr. Softy line is always popping.
Is that soft serve ice cream?
Yeah, and they put it in the little.
You go wrong with that.
And they put it in a little Ray's cup, I think.
Oh God, fantastic.
See, would you rather have Mr. Softy or you Dippin' Dot?
Mr. Softy.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Mr. Soft service.
Product of my generation. I'm the Dippin' Dot guy.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, soft serve is just
the cookie dough.
Swirl.
The cookie dough Dippin' Dot.
No, the swirl, the chocolate, and I mean it's so basic but so freaking good.
But
it's like the chocolate frosty.
But you know my
or
rule.
the vanilla frosty.
You know my
or
rule.
Or the strawberry frosty.
You know my rule
it's
at a ball game.
It's so freaking basic. It's so good.
Yeah. You know my rule though at a ball game: hot dog and peanuts. Hot dog and peanuts. We don't have to go crazy. Hot dog and peanuts.
Listen, here's the problem. The problem with the hot dog is, and I don't know why, but if I'm going to spend $12 on a hot dog, right, and it's $16 for the burger and fries, I'm going to go burger.
But
by the way,
they
have the Omaha steak burgers at the Trop. That's what I got on opening day. That thing was good.
Oh, it's an Omaha steak burger.
Yeah, it's an Omaha steak burger.
It's
like a quarter pound. It's legit. I mean, for $20, I would like to get maybe 3/4 of a pound. Or 12 pounds, but it was still really good. The fries were good, and it came out quick, self-serve. It was good.
See, I think Barstool may have put out a thing on opening day, like, what's the best ballpark food? And they had, like, 6 options, and one of the options was pizza. And I'm like, who orders pizza at a ball game?
No.
You're going to – I've seen –
although if there's good pizza.
I've seen people order it, though.
You get me a good New York slice of pizza, and they have it at the Trop?
Well, that doesn't happen,
I'll be all over that.
That doesn't happen, though. You have, like, the Papa John's or the Little Caesars.
Go get me Eddie. You put an Eddie and Sam's in there, I'm all over that.
But they have, like, that little Papa John's or that Little Caesars, whatever it is, and you get that little individual pizza for, like, $20. That's, like, not cooked nearly enough.
I heard, I think it was Sternberg on the radio talking about the pretzel dog. He's very high on the pretzel dog. They only make a certain amount of pretzels a day, and they're freshly made, so you got to get them early on. It's $20 for a freaking pretzel dog. Yeah. It's like a foot-long pretzel dog. It could feed a family of 4, and it's small family of 4. But it looks really good, and they make them fresh daily. So I'm a little intrigued about the pretzel dog. Has anybody had the pretzel dog out there? Tell me about the pretzel dog.
Tell me about if Stu's vouching for the pretzel dog,
we could split a pretzel dog.
I need to know how the pretzel dog tastes.
We could get 2 tickets and a pretzel dog for like $40, plus fees maybe $100.
Yeah, Lonnie said my sister wanted the Papa John's. That thing was sad.
Be glad your sister's not eating the foot-long pretzel dog. We don't want to see that. I don't want to see my sister or my girlfriend eat that.
No, the other thing too. Have you ever walked by the area there where they have like the Italian sausage going on the grill?
Oh,
that smell! I mean, there's never a line at that spot for whatever reason.
I love the Italian.
But you walk by it though, you have to turn and look.
Yeah.
And debate if you want to get it. So
yes.
The Italian sausage, I can go with that because that's basically a hot dog.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's better than a hot dog.
And it's better than a hot dog.
Better than a hot dog.
You put a little mustard on it. Yeah.
And if you can get some sauerkraut and some onions on that, oof, man. Some of the other comments coming in on Taj Bradley, the babyface killer. He does have a baby face, by the way. I mean, he looks young.
He looks 22.
Yeah, until he throws it 97 up and in.
If you take a date to the Rays and she gets the foot long, just leave.
Yeah, leave soon. Get home quick. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, she orders the. Yeah, you picked the winner number 1, but she's going to be really disappointed when she gets home.
Oh,
you
man.
did this.
I did nothing. I did nothing.
Who posted that? Who posted that? We'll give you a shout out. Pitching staff is ridiculous. Boz, Raz, McClanahan. We didn't even talk about Shane Boz. Raz, McClanahan, Springs, Eflin, Taj, Class now. Yeah, it's an embarrassment of riches. It's incredible. Pitching matchup today, Kluber versus who's going today?
Springs.
Springs going today. Oh my God, we're gonna crush it. Kluber versus Springs.
Mm-hmm.
So 6.53 ERA but gets 0 ERA.
Yeah, and I think also to pour misery on Boston fans, remember, where was Jeffrey Springs before he was a Ray?
What's that?
Where was Jeffrey Springs before he was a Ray?
L.A.?
No, he was a Red Sox.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
A lot of Red Sox fans were like, the misery doesn't end. We're going to have to face the guy that we had in our organization for years tomorrow, and he's going to dice us up. They know it already. They know it's coming.
Lonnie Wilkins says, I have family high up with the Cubs. They are totally in on this Rays team being a true force this season. By the way, I got to get my tickets.
Your Chicago tickets.
Yeah, I got to get to the – well, Cullen's handling the tickets. I got to get my flight.
I just don't want to see you in that batting cage ever again. I think your days in the batting cage have come to an end.
All right, I'm going to have to show you.
Mr. Rollover.
I'll have to show you when Jason Romano tried to sneak a fastball by me in his batting cage and see what I did to that. When he comes on the show, we'll go ahead and tell him. He goes, because that ball was going out. The one I hit, that thing, if we had like a tracker on that thing was going out. I blasted that thing.
And you could say forever you got a base knock off Doug Wecker, didn't you?
That's right. No, he hit me.
Or he hit you. There you
go.
go.
I think I did. No, I don't think it was off.
I know you told that story a couple months ago.
Yeah, he knew it because he saw me get a hit off the other two guys.
Yeah.
And then Telford throws a curveball in my ear. The guy's like 1 year removed from pitching in the big leagues. Starts a curveball at my ear and drops it into the zone, and I'm like bailing out into the third base dugout. And I was like, "You jerk!" I said, "I'm not a ball player. You can only throw fastballs." So yeah, no, Wechter had to hit me because he hit the 75-year-old guy right before me. He was having hallucinations on the mound because it was too hot that day. What a great story. This Rays team. Says Bucks, Rays, and Bolts. The Rays team better than World Series team feels something special. I mean, of all this stuff, I do have to tap the brakes, though. Come on, guys. Come on. It's 13-0. The 82 Braves didn't win the World Series. The 87 Brewers didn't win the World Series. Tap the brakes a little bit. We're having fun with it, but let's not go crazy.
And how many teams? Because think about the start that the Rays have gotten off to now, and they've put themselves in that probably conversation. I think at least, right?
What? To be a World Series contender?
Yeah.
Of course.
Of course they are.
Yeah. How could you say no?
But to do that, they have to do something that I don't know how many teams have ever done, and that's they would have literally gone wire to wire from start to finish, game one all the way.
Not necessarily. They could have a really bad streak, get caught.
But I don't know who's catching them at the moment.
How many games did the Yankees win last year? 100
well over 100.
Yeah, 107 was it? What was it? I forget. Anyway, the Yankees are still a good baseball team. Let's not get it twisted. But again, like I said yesterday, the balanced schedule is is the huge difference.
I just don't think the Yankees are as complete as the Rays are all the way around. I don't think they are. The Yankees.
When you look at the team this year, come on.
Look at the pitching. The
as
Yankees
much as I love
staff,
Jeffrey Springs, he's not going through the year with the 0 ERA.
No, but he's going to be. I think he's going to be even better than he was last year.
He'll be better, but I mean, Eflin is hurt. We don't know if Eflin's even going to come back and pitch. We don't know. We think he is, but of course he's going to come back and pitch. But how effective can it be? We don't know. It's a back injury. We don't know. And he's been on the DL a lot.
Well, that's going to be the question. How can they manage injuries?
Right,
clearly.
of course. Let's calm down.
The Yankees have theirs.
Calm down
the Yankees have theirs in their. I'm just saying right now, the Yankees have a lot of issues in their rotation.
Yeah,
with injuries, and even when they get those guys back, I still think they have issues in their rotation.
Yeah.
And I'm still waiting to see on Toronto, who continues to let me down. So I think the Rays still have the upper hand on those teams going forward.
Yeah. I just think that, and we said this yesterday, and I'll just quickly repeat it before we hit the break. When you look at what these guys are doing, none of it is out of their capability. In other words, we don't have a career 6.5 ERA guy that's 2-0 with a 0.0 ERA. We saw last year Springs was a pretty good pitcher.
Yeah.
McClanahan's a damn good pitcher. We know Rasmussen's a damn good pitcher and get better. We know Glasnow is a damn good pitcher. We know Randy Arozarena has power. Wander Franco has power. All the things that they're doing are within their capabilities.
Yeah.
None of them are playing just off, some 150 hitter who's hitting 500 right now with 12 home runs. That's not happening. All these guys that are doing it have the capability within themselves. It's not wildly out of their zone to be doing what they're doing. So it's just we expected a lot of it last year when we never saw it.
Yeah.
And so it's all coming together at the right time against a fairly weak schedule. Let's just be honest about it. These are not we haven't played the Yankees or Dodgers or Cardinals, any of these elite teams yet. So let's just tap the brakes a little bit. We're having fun with it, but let's not put them in the World Series just yet. We're a long way away from that.
No, but it's still live in the moment, though.
Yeah, of course.
Live in the moment. I mean, I just want to see. If I had any concern, I think if you had through these games so far, and it's again, I think the bullpen at the moment has to be the only kind of negative mark, maybe.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Of course.
I think because I even think the bullpen honestly has been a bit shaky, even in the games they got in there.
Well,
I don't think it's
also
been
they're
as
not
clean,
getting much.
but they're not getting much opportunity,
Yeah,
especially the top guys.
They're still in spring training for the.
But I've seen a lot of Poche, I've seen a lot of Thompson. I don't think those two guys have been sharp. I don't think Calvin Fauché is going to be on this bullpen that much longer, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
The Kevin Kellys of the world. I have some.
Well, he got hurt last night.
Well, that was the Red Sox pitcher.
Yeah.
It's about our Kevin Kelly. I have my concern or my questions, I guess, about probably about half of the bullpen right now.
Yeah.
That I want to see. I think that's a fair.
And when this pitching staff gets healthy, some of these starters are going to have to go into the bullpen.
Maybe.
Yeah, which is not a bad thing. Yeah, Richie P brings this up too. You're down 2 runs and you're bunting in the 9th. What was that for the Red Sox? You throw in the throw by Verdugo, which is still a mystery.
I don't think they had any. They had no confidence against Fairbanks, I thought.
Yeah, no, none. It just and what you said about the Boston Riders in that clubhouse, that they're just befuddled as to what's going on.
And that's why I think they just want to get the hell out of Tampa and St. Pete.
And that's the other thing about it is they've been bludgeoned by this team for 3 days.
Yeah, and they've already gotten swept by the Pirates this year already. So they've been going through it to start this season.
They've got to be, and they put Chris Sale out there, and I think as learned people know that he's well past it.
Yeah.
But even to see him get knocked around like that. And then there was chirping going on from the dugout. Yeah, they're in a bad way. I love this by Lonnie Wilkins, who says Chaim Bloom is a special agent sent to Boston to wreck them. Get rid of all their players. In this day and age, Lonnie, I'm on you with that, bro. I love that's a classic Sternberg move. He'd pay for that. He'd pay you a couple million just to do that.
And that's a good investment, by the way.
Get fired, get rid of all their good players, get fired, and come back to Tampa Bay. We'll have your job waiting for you here. Oh, that would be spectacular. That's one, their front offices keep getting raided, right? It's been happening for a long time now. So there's one way to battle that. Give them a few ducats to go get your big contract. We'll pay you on top of that under the table a couple million a year. And then come back here.
Charlie Montoyo Charlie Montoyo did his best to kind of derail the Blue Jays from reaching their potential. How long before he's back on this payroll?
This is so good. We should do a whole show on this. Stu Sternberg takes his evil for good for Tampa Bay. What a story that would be. What a story that would be. Give him a $10 million bonus because you're making so much money anyway. Here, you go wreck the Red Sox. You go wreck the Blue Jays, and then come on back when you're done.
He's probably begging. He's begging the Yankees to get rid of Cashman so he could throw somebody in that seat. He's begging for it.
Keep him there.
Or keep him there. He doesn't have to do anything. He doesn't have to do anything.
He spent $3 billion in the last 14 years and doesn't have a World Series title. We got to keep Cashman. Well, that's why Cashman's still there. Sternberg's figured out a way to blackmail Hal Steinbrenner to keep Cashman in that seat. And that's all working out well. They can have all their regular season wins they want. They ain't winning a squat. No, I think it's working out very well.
We found the key.
I've just changed my whole opinion of Stu Sternberg.
I was going to say, we found the key. Key to the city right now.
That was it. Well done. If you're going to be underhanded, use it in a positive way. I like your plan, Stu. I like it a lot. Well done. Well executed. Good job. He's taking all that Trop redevelopment money he's going to make and submarining the other teams in the AL East. I love it. Pure genius, my man. Pure genius. Did you ever think you'd ever hear me say that about Stu Sternberg?
I don't know, but I can tell you what. I'm definitely gonna clip that out for future reference.
Yeah, that was good. Absolutely. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back on the other side and get into a little bit of Lightning and Bucks talk as well, as we're just 2 weeks from the draft from today. And we have no idea who the Bucks are drafting. We have no idea what position they're going after. This is going to be, I think, one of the most interesting drafts and important drafts in Bucks history. Mm-hmm. I will say that right now. Jason Light is on the clock, and he's actually going to be speaking to the media today at 1 o'clock. So do I go to the Jason Light press conference or to the Rays game?
You think you know the answer to that.
I think I know. I can always get the copy of the Jason Light press conference, and I know my boys at the Pewter Report and all those guys will be asking all the right questions, so we're good there. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back on the other side and talk a little Bucks and Lightning. Stay with us. Insurance coverage can be confusing and expensive. I mean, where do you start? Which companies can you count on to pay out fast and fair? Well, call the great folks at Italiano Insurance. It's a family-owned business. Jeff and Nat Italiano are carrying on the 60-year-plus tradition of giving amazing customer service and giving back to the community through their annual backpack drive for needy students and their support of the local pediatric cancer patients. But it's the customer service that sets them apart. They can shop all your insurance needs and save you big-time money. Don't hop on the internet and waste time looking at some bogus reviews. Talk to knowledgeable agents and not some voice-generated robot. These are confusing times for homeowners, and Italiano's team of experienced professionals can provide the right coverage for every situation: home, auto, business, life. It's Italiano for all the pieces of your life. Call 813-877-7799 or go to ItalianoInsurance.com. Well, Fitz the mortgage guy did it again. A listener heard his ad, was going to another big bank, but called Scott Fitzgerald at American Mortgage Services of Tampa, and Fitz saved him $618 on his monthly payment. Are you kidding me? Folks, that's big money. Rates are going up, they're going down, they're going all over the place. Scott will shop your loan and save you lender fees and get the best rates. Email him, scott@amstampa.com, or call 813-294-7595. That's Fitz the mortgage guy. Lots of stuff going on right now, and these rates are going all over the place. You need somebody knowledgeable in the market that will work hard for you and get you the best deal. That's my man, Scott. He's done 3 loans for me, done thousands of loans for local folks here, works with a lot of the coaches and players in the area. He's the guy. 813-294-7595, or go to scott@amstampa.com. JP here for the Jeeves Law Group. Have you been injured in an accident, in an auto accident, truck accident, motorcycle accident, at work, or at a place of business? Well, call the Jeeves Law Group and get the personal attention that you deserve. I made the mistake many, many years ago with going with one of the bigger law firms, the national law firms. And let me tell you, getting a call back from those folks was next to impossible. Weeks and weeks would go by, never get a call back. That doesn't happen with the Jeeves Law Group. Personal attention is what they're all about. When you call the Jeeves Law Group, you will be part of the family. They will represent you in a vigorous and aggressive way against the insurance companies. These larger companies will promise bigger settlements, but it's the Jeeves Law Group that will get you the best results. If you're tired of dealing with these bigger law firms, check out the Jeeves Law Group. Go to JeevesLawGroup.com, tell them JP sent you, get a free consultation. It's the Jeeves Law Group. Scott Jeeves has been representing clients in the Tampa Bay area for over 25 years. Give them a call. It's a free call, 727-894-2929, 727-894-2929, or go to JeevesLawGroup.com. Hey guys, JP here for the Gold and Diamond Source. There is no better place to shop for jewelry than the Gold and Diamond Source. We know that. They are the family jewelers, and they will treat you like family. It's always a fun experience. Just head on over there. You will not find a better selection anywhere in the world. It's a jewelry super center. They've got engagement rings, necklaces, earrings, pendants, chains, and thousands of diamonds to choose from. They're all right there. They don't have to ship anything in. They have jewelry for every price range as well. Guys, if you're looking for some of those baller watches, they have a great selection. They have new and used. You can get some great collectibles there as well. And if you're looking for some more affordable gold and diamond jewelry, you have to check out the Emily collection from Emily Johnson Weintraub. Emily created this collection for people who want to wear and stack elaborate jewelry but don't want to pay the big ticket prices. You got to check this stuff out. The Gold and Diamond Source has plenty of options to accommodate any budget, interest-free financing for up to 5 years, and a layaway program, 20% down and only 6 monthly payments. And this month only, get up to 15% off the March birthstone, which is aquamarine. Like we always say, keep it local, folks. The Gold and Diamond Source, Julie and Steve Weintraub, such great philanthropic benefactors. So let's keep it all local here when we have the opportunity, right? It's the Gold and Diamond Source, 3800 Olmerton Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com. Ladies and gentlemen, are you looking to lose weight or just lean up for bathing suit season where there are so many diets and chiropractors and weight loss clinics out there? You don't know where to start, right? We'll start at Bay Area Modern Medical Center. Chris Lugo, PA, and his professional staff will devise a personal plan for you that gets results and will help you keep the weight off. Everybody metabolizes food and supplements differently. Many of these other approaches are designed for the masses. So how's that going to work for you specifically? It's not. Chris will spend one-on-one time with you to find out what works best for you so the weight comes off safely without the use of harmful drugs and side effects. Call 844-977-3477 or go to BAMMC.com. Tell them JP sent you for priority scheduling. 844-977-3477 or BAMMC.com. Insurance coverage can be confusing and expensive. I mean, where do you start? Which companies can you count on to pay out fast and fair? Well, call the great folks at Italiano Insurance. It's a family-owned business. Jeff and Nat Italiano are carrying on the 60-year-plus tradition of giving amazing customer service and giving back to the community through their annual backpack drive for needy students and their support of the local pediatric cancer patients. But it's the customer service that sets them apart. They can shop all your insurance needs and save you big-time money. Don't hop on the internet and waste time looking at some bogus reviews. Talk to knowledgeable agents and not some voice-generated robot. These are confusing times for homeowners, and Italiano's team of experienced professionals can provide the right coverage for every situation: home, auto, business, life. It's Italiano for all the pieces of your life. Call 813-877-7799 or go to ItalianoInsurance.com.
Pure sports. JP is back on.
Welcome back.
FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show here on this Thursday, this 13th Thursday. Did you get our tickets yet?
I was going to say, are we locked in?
We're locked in. Let's go.
I can go ahead and put them in.
Jason Light just texted me and said, you don't need to be there. I don't want to answer your questions anyway. Too hard. They're trying to pin me down on this quarterback thing. Trying to get everybody through this. Yeah, so we're thankful for our great sponsors, the Jeeves Law Group, JEEVES lawgroup.com. If you've been involved in an accident or personal injury, get the personal attention that you will receive at the Jeeves Law Group. BAM, Bay Area Modern Medical Center, BAMMC.com. Chris Lugo and the gang over there. Go get your testosterone levels tested and make sure that you're on the right track to health. And be the best you can be, guys. Even you younger guys, wink, wink, might need a little testosterone here and there. So go get your levels checked. Italiano Insurance, great time for Italiano to do your insurance checkup. They will shop dozens and dozens of companies to get you the best price because, damn, them home insurance rates are going up. I had a friend that shopped it around the other day and I believe saved $3,000. So you can do it too at the Italiano Insurance. Just call them 813-877-7799. $3,000 he saved that he was going to pay with his old company that he'd been with for years, but Italiano shopped it around and got him a much better deal. So that's real money, folks. Real money. Golden Diamond Source. It's April. The birthstone is a diamond, so they've got 15% off some of their diamond jewelry there. And always the best selection for a engagement ring. So go over to the Golden Diamond Source. Tell them JP sent you. And American Mortgage Services, Scott Fitzgerald, by the way, our man Fitzy, just went out to Vegas and cleaned up again. But he lost his master's bets to me. He wanted to support Brooksy, being a Seminole and all. And I was like, that's ill-fated. When it comes to betting, I leave my allegiances at the door. You just got to go for who you think's going to win. That was John Rahm. So sorry, Fitzy, I got you there. But you got your money back in Vegas. So you good, dog. You good. And he will get you your best mortgage, by the way. He is an absolute bulldog when it comes to getting the best rates and getting you the lowest fees. So reach him, Scott at AMSTampa.com. All right, we got a hockey game tonight, too, and a concert, Taylor Swift concert. I'll be going tomorrow night with the lovely Shay and her friend and the lovely Ashley. Ooh, where do you see the pictures of Ashley's outfit for the Taylor Swift concert? Ooh. I've already gotten a preview. It's going to be good. We got a hockey game tonight. The Detroit Red Wings are in town for the season finale. It's going to be a lot of cool stuff. It's the fan appreciation night. All the STMs are going to get the players' shirts off their backs that they've won for the last few weeks. This is going to be the best part about tonight, quite frankly, because I don't know how much of a hockey game it's going to be. I would think that the Bolts will be resting a lot of players like Toronto did the other night, but
I don't know. I saw Eric Erlinson, Double E, was there at the morning skate, and Vasilevsky was in the quote-unquote starters net, he said, in pregame. And the only player that was not present was Mikhail Sergachev in morning skate this morning. So I don't know. I mean, if you rest guys, like obviously there's nobody you're bringing up to replace them, so you'd be just playing the game like Toronto did the other night, right, with less people.
Right. I mean, far be it from me to second-guess John Cooper. And, Vasilevsky may have felt that he just isn't playing the way he wants to play and wants another game, which it's not going to be like he's going to be tired for a Tuesday first-rounder, right? But there is the risk of injury. I mean, it's a slight when it comes to a goaltender. But, for some of the other guys, I'm not down with that. I get them off their feet. I don't want to. I mean, can you imagine putting one of your big time starters out there tonight and getting hurt going into the playoffs? No, I mean Pat Maroon twisted his knee the other night. I don't want to see him out there.
It's a team that's got nothing to play for.
Nothing to play for. Yeah, I'd be very shocked if. I know you only have so many skaters, but I don't want to see Stamkos out there. I want to see Kucherov out there. I certainly don't want to see Braden Point out there.
I will ask you this, and I guess this was this almost is like the Brady discussion. Do you put him out there though?
Here, you just 21 minutes
for the
ago.
50th goal.
Eric. Oh, that's right. Forgot about that.
I kind of want him to get to 50, but we had this discussion. Remember with the whole thing with Brady about not having to go under 500, and you raised hell about that. Is this any different? This was a little different because
50 goals is
a little bit different.
Deal.
It
feels really different.
This is a personal achievement that you don't know if you're going to get a chance at it again.
Yeah, and you get the power play going, and you want to maybe you put them out there, and you're like, okay, guys, just I don't necessarily want you going into the corners and hitting people, but you're going to get hit. You're going to get hit. So you go out there play not to get injured, and I don't know, but that's a bit. The 50 goals. I'm not a big stat guy when it comes, but that's a big one. That's a really, really big milestone. You worked your ass off the whole year to get there, and right on the doorstep. Yeah, maybe you put him out there for that, but I don't know. I think it's kind of an individual thing. Let the players say what they want to do. But man, it's a little dicey. Eric Erlinson reporting Elliott is the first one off, so it looks like Vasilevsky gets the night off for the season finale.
Good.
Tonight. Okay, that's fine with me. I'm trying to see if he's got any prospects. Go Bolts prospect scores 4 goals in key crunch game victory. That doesn't mean he's being called up. So, no, it doesn't.
Yeah,
look
nothing
like,
yet on what the lineup is going to be.
So, we'll see tonight. Tonight will be a nice celebration for the fans, just fan appreciation night. So that'll be good. But I think it'll be a lot like Tuesday night, where you're not going to learn a whole lot about your team or get. There's nothing that's going to happen tonight that's going to spill over into what we hope is Game 1 Tuesday.
Yeah, it's at this point for the Lightning. It's the whole question is, can they turn it on in the play? That's it. That's the only question they have left to answer. Judging by the way they've played this year, it hasn't been as buttoned up as years past. I mean, I'll just come out and say it. I don't think they're getting it done this year. I mean,
gun to my head right now, are they winning the Stanley Cup? No.
I just can't. I'm sorry. I just can't get there right now. I've seen, like I've been saying for the last few weeks, I've seen too many things that are giving me pause. I think the Eastern Conference has beefed up. The Eastern Conference from top to bottom right now. I mean, take the Islanders out of there, I guess. But the other 7 teams, I legitimately could probably make an argument for, if they got hot, that they could get out of there. Right?
Yeah. I mean, look at the Islanders beat them 5-1 the other day. Beat them pretty handily.
I don't think the Islanders. I mean, I think the Islanders are being fed to Boston in round 1 myself. Yeah. And that team, I know Boston is the whole President's Trophy curse. I mean, they're going to break the Lightning's record. I think they already did, actually.
For wins, yeah.
But they just kind of have that last dance feel to them, because I think this is it for that core of Bergeron, Marchand, Pasternak, Krejci. Like, this is the last time I think those 4 guys are going to play together. Mm-hmm. And I think they have an added incentive to get it done. I think this is their most complete team in years.
Yeah.
They got the hottest goaltender going in.
And the coaching has just been different.
It's a completely different system.
Yeah, I mean, could you say Cassidy was holding them back? Yeah, you probably could, given what they've done this year.
I don't think he's holding them back. You just need a new voice, maybe.
Yeah,
sometimes things grow stale.
Yeah, no, it's kind of a John Gruden type thing.
Because he's worked out in Vegas.
Yeah, exactly. So, but just a different voice. But they're playing differently. They're playing more. The defensemen are jumping up in the game. They're not playing as as defensive a game, and I think it's unleashed a lot of their offensive potential. And they've been a juggernaut. I mean, just the numbers are they're there, but you still say they haven't the goalies that they have, as well as they played, have not done it in the playoffs. So let's wait and see. And the hockey playoffs are a different deal, man. Anybody can beat anybody. We've seen that many times.
That's
We've seen
that's
7 and 8
going,
seeds go win the Stanley Cup.
That's the thing that's going the Lightning's way is of the teams in the East. They know what it takes to get there. They know the extra ingredient. I know Boston has players who know how to do it, but as this group as a whole, they don't. Toronto, yeah. Carolina, nope. New Jersey's a very young team. Maybe they're a year ahead of schedule. I don't know. New York feels like they're right there at the end there, trying to get over the finish line. And then I think New York, I don't think has much of a shot, and Florida probably has maybe too much holes in their games right now to probably get out. So that's the thing the Lightning hold over all those teams. They know how to get it done, but can they do it?
Well, I think these are the things I think are going to happen in the playoffs. Number one, Vasi has to be Vasi. And we have not seen – we've seen glimpses of him this year in the times that they need him the most. When they had to – a few weeks ago when he went – had to gave up 1 goal in 3 games. And when that was kind of crunch time, they had lost 5 in a row and they needed to bounce back. Every time that they've needed to answer the bell this year, they've done that. And clearly he's done that throughout his history in the playoffs. That's a real thing. That's a real thing. So Vasi has to be Vasi first and foremost. And I think defensively, Hedman has to step up. Hedman has got to be better. Hedman, remember in the playoffs, especially I would say 2020, he was driving the train. He was doing everything that needed to be done. I just don't. It hasn't been a typical Hedman season. I don't know if he's had some issues with his hands or something or whatever, a wrist or whatever injury. He just hasn't been the same guy this year. Not that he's been bad, but he hasn't been the best defenseman in the league. Which the Lightning have won the Stanley Cup with him being at least inarguably top 3, if not the best. So I think Hedman has to step up his game. I think Nick Paul has to step up his scoring. They need to find some secondary scoring more consistently. Whether it's Nick Paul, whether it's Mikey Asimon, who can bring maybe a little something to this kind of a Yanni Gourde feel. I think somebody like that has to step up in the bottom 6 and really start scoring or at least making plays and doing some good things. I think they need more from that. Your stars always have to be your stars. Braden Point has to be. He has to be.
Can he get on a little bit of a heater?
A Conn Smythe.
Yeah, I want to know if he can get on a heater because
he's
been sitting on, he's cooled off a little bit here the last 10, 15 games, which I think no coincidence the Lightning have dropped most of those games.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, to me, he's been the most important player, the most impactful player to the Lightning this season. I think he's going to have to be that in the playoffs. Maybe some added. Toronto took him out last year. It happened.
Yep.
Right. So there's some extra motivation for him to get in there and to stick it to that team, I think. So I think he's really the engine. Hedman, to your point, I don't think he's been right from day one.
Yeah.
I really don't. And if something's going to give you pause really about this team, it's the defensive structure. Now, we saw them do it for that 4-game stretch. And maybe to your theory, that was them going, okay, hey, look, we can do this. We're not going to do this every night. We can't right now.
Right. Don't need to.
Don't need to.
Don't need to.
But when these games matter, we can. And you should trust us because look what we've done before. But again, there comes a time where it doesn't happen anymore like that.
Until they give us a reason, but they're not. It's not like they're too old. The only thing you can say is that
they are the oldest roster in the league.
But they're not too old.
No, but they.
I mean, Hedman's not.
Some
too
of these
old.
guys,
Vasi's
though, but those guys, though, are probably older in hockey years. Because of all the stuff, because of how much they've played.
How much high pressure playoff games that
yes.
they played. Yeah, that's true. But I still think they've got a long way to go. 4 or 5 years. Maybe not Stamkos. Maybe these great defensemen play into their late 30s. What, Pasta's 38? And he's there's no reason that Stamkos can't do what he's doing when he's
Who?
Pasternak, isn't he?
Not 38.
Or am I thinking of Marchand?
Marchand's 35. Bergeron's 38.
Oh, that's who I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they've been doing it. They've been doing it for a while. But I just don't think they're too old. I don't think they're too old. I don't think that's the thing. I just think that it's when you've won as much as they've won, the regular season games just don't mean shit. They don't. The regular season just exists to get into the tournament. That's all they care about. It's all about setting up for the postseason, and I don't think we've seen the best of the Lightning. I don't.
Nowhere near it.
I just don't think we've seen the best of what they've got to give. And and maybe you can't just flip the switch, but they've done it. We keep saying you can't, but they've done it for the past 3 years. This is not the first time we see the Lightning playing poorly, and then they flip the switch and they go right back into it. And I'm even talking within the playoffs. We've seen them throw out a couple stinkers against Toronto last year, but what happened? They came back and win in Game 7.
I thought they were done in that Toronto
Of course,
series.
we all did. Well, I remember last year, everybody said they were done. I'm like, I'm not cooking this team until they show me they can't play their best when their back's against the wall. I'm not going to doubt them, and I'm not going to doubt them now. Now, of course, I just said I don't think they're going to win the Stanley Cup.
Because the odds are just not in your favor.
Yeah, there's a lot of good teams. There's just a lot of good teams this year that are in position to win, and you can't. I mean, it's against the laws of nature to all have these other teams that are just, they've been out in the woods starving for decades. While this team has been eating at the freaking eating the feast inside the castle for some time, and you just at some point, the hungry wolves are going to get you.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see what happens. Like, where does this team – this is, I guess, a very broad question, right? But, like, where do they go? Let's just say they don't get out of first round against Toronto, right? And let's say it's just not even close. It almost like you start to go, okay, now it's like, where do we go from here? How much more kicks at the can do we have with it? I think this year, depending on – even if they don't win, how they go out, when they go out is going to be very telling to me to how much shelf life this team has. Because I've already looked to the future. This is probably it. I mean – I think Alex Killorn loves Tampa Bay, and maybe he'd be willing to take a pay cut, but he just had his best season this year. There's a team out there that's probably willing to give.
Anywhere.
I don't know, but there's a team. There's a team out there that's willing to give that guy a good contract.
He don't need the money. He loves living in Tampa Bay. He loves this organization.
It's a fair question, though. I don't know if he's going to be here.
He's not going.
I don't know.
He's not going anywhere.
I don't know. Everybody gets a year older. We already told you that Hedman, this wasn't his best season.
Right.
Some of these other big contracts, the Sergachev, Chernak, and Cirelli are going to take shape. Let's just call it out. I mean, Julien Brisebois, I think this year he's probably mismanaged. I don't know if mismanaged too hard, but he's miscalculated some of his moves this year. I think that's a very fair assessment of Julien Brisebois this year, more so than recent years.
How so? Which moves?
When they traded Ryan McDonough, okay, you get Philippe Myers back. They could have cut Philippe Myers right then and there and saved $2.5 million against the cap. They didn't do it. They wanted to see if they could fix his skating. He kind of had a cow foot kind of quality to him like that. Didn't happen, right? So there's strike.
Fair.
There's one right there.
Yeah.
They thought Zach Bogosian.
Well, let's acknowledge that they had to trade Ryan McDonough to keep.
Yeah, I'm just saying the Philip Myers, though, in regards to cap.
Yep.
Wasn't the answer. Zach Bogosian, they thought they could squeeze some of what they got out of him in the bubble 3 years ago. No. Not even close. Vlad Nemesnikov, free agent signing, whiff. Hayden Fleury, whiff. A lot of them, and Tanner Jeannot, at the moment, how can you argue against it being a whiff? At the moment.
One goal,
and now he's hurt, and you might not even have him, and you give up a lot of capital. I'm just saying, this year, actually, I'm looking completely on the pessimistic side.
Yeah,
here.
And him getting injured, obviously.
Didn't help.
Yeah.
But looking at it from that point of view, this has really been a tough year for the Lightning all the way around.
I agree.
Even at the top.
Yeah.
And maybe nobody wants to acknowledge it. I understand that. We don't want to question the team, but those are facts right there.
Yeah.
They haven't made the same moves this year to put this team over the hump that they have been able to in recent years.
Yeah, and they're not going into the postseason with you're going to need Ian Cole and Nick Perbix and who's the other one I'm thinking of, new defenseman, to step up and be good and be, and play the way you need to play to win a Stanley Cup championship. And that's hard to ask. Perbix is, he's playing in probably a 30th game that he's never played this many games in his life, and playing at a high pressure NHL level, 20, 30 games coming from college. So you don't know if he has the stamina to make it through, a rough and tumble postseason like this. It's going to be tough.
And by the way, Cooper was actually speaking as we were just going through all that. No, I don't see any lineup updates necessarily besides Elliott, but he did say that Sergachev was held out because he's on baby watch right now. So
he's watching his baby.
Don't know if he's going to play tonight because his wife might be having the kid anytime soon here.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, that's a big deal, and again, we're a few days away from the actual playoffs starting, so we've got some time. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to get into some Bucks and some college football. We got some spring games coming up this weekend, so we'll talk some of that. And there's still some craziness going on out there with the quarterback market. This is going to be, I think, the story of this draft, and especially for the Buccaneers if they grab a quarterback. Much more coming ahead. Brought to you by the Jeeves Law Group at Bay Area Modern Medical Center. Stay with us. Are you experiencing those feelings of getting older, lower sex drive, fatigue, hot flashes, moodiness, or you just don't feel like you had the vitality you once had? It's a chronic problem here in the United States. You're not just getting old, it's likely low testosterone. Studies over the last 20 years show a shocking decline in younger males aged 16 to 39. Older men have seen a sharp decline as well, so do something about it. Go see my friend Christopher Lugo at Bay Area Modern Medicine. Look, testosterone replacement is not a frivolous treatment. It takes a professional, targeted approach that focuses on total body wellness, vitality, and emotional stability, not a one-size-fits-all approach like many clinics use. They will monitor your blood work and adjust your treatment as needed for optimal results. Folks, I've been on testosterone therapy for over 6 years, and it is a life changer. You will feel and look better than you did 10 years ago. Give them a call at 844-977-3477 or go to BAMMC.com. Tell them JP sent you for priority scheduling. That's 844-977-3477 or BAMMC.com. JP here for the Jeeves Law Group. Have you been injured in an accident, in an auto accident, truck accident, motorcycle accident, at work, or at a place of business? Well, call the Jeeves Law Group and get the personal attention that you deserve. I made the mistake many, many years ago with going with one of the bigger law firms, the national law firms. And let me tell you, getting a call back from those folks was next to impossible. Weeks and weeks would go by, never get a call back. That doesn't happen with the Jeeves Law Group. Personal attention is what they're all about. When you call the Jeeves Law Group, you will be part of the family. They will represent you in a vigorous and aggressive way against the insurance companies. These larger companies will promise bigger settlements, but it's the Jeeves Law Group that will get you the best results. If you're tired of dealing with these bigger law firms, check out the Jeeves Law Group. Go to JeevesLawGroup.com, tell them JP sent you, get a free consultation. It's the Jeeves Law Group. Scott Jeeves has been representing clients in the Tampa Bay area for over 25 years. Give them a call. It's a free call, 727-894-2929, 727-894-2929, or go to JeevesLawGroup.com. All right, this is for all you guys who don't want to go to the gym and do 5,000 crunches. At Bay Area Modern Medical Center, you can get on the new True Body machine where you can reduce fat and tone up your muscle. It's like doing 54,000 crunches in just 15 minutes. Define your body as you see fit. True Body offers personalized muscle stimulation that delivers the equivalent of those 54,000 crunches in just 15 minutes. Just get in touch with them at Bay Area Modern Medical Center, BAMMC.com. Chris Lugo and the team over there will set you up on True Body and get amazing results. Non-invasive with comfortable and little to no pain and zero downtime. You can isolate and target those areas that you want to improve and treat multiple areas simultaneously. It's an amazing machine, so check it out at Bay Area Modern Medical Center, BAMMC.com. Well, Fitz the mortgage guy did it again. A listener heard his ad, was going to another big bank, but called Scott Fitzgerald at American Mortgage Services of Tampa, and Fitz saved him $618 on his monthly payment. Are you kidding me? Folks, that's big money. Rates are going up, they're going down, they're going all over the place. Scott will shop your loan and save you lender fees and get the best rates. Email him, scott@amstampa.com, or call 813-294-7595. That's Fitz the mortgage guy. Lots of stuff going on right now, and these rates are going all over the place. You need somebody knowledgeable in the market that will work hard for you and get you the best deal. That's my man Scott. He's done 3 loans for me, done thousands of loans for local folks here, works with a lot of the coaches and players in the area. He's the guy. 813-294-7595 or go to scott@amstampa.com.
Pure sports. JP is back on.
Welcome back.
FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show on this Thursday, as the Rays are going to go for a Major League record equaling 13 in a row this afternoon against the Sox at the Trop. Was it 1 o'clock start? 1:10 start? Kluber versus Jeffrey Springs. I like your chances.
And we will officially be in the building, by the way.
We got our $10 tickets?
We got our $10 tickets. That
How
easy.
about that?
That easy. And there weren't many to pick from, by the way.
Oh, okay. We just get in the building.
So there you go.
All right. So we will be reporting back tomorrow from the it's not quite press credentials. We don't get to go into the dressing room afterwards to talk to the players. But we'll be there to give you the inside and the outside of what's going on at the Trop as they go for lucky 13 today. All right, we got a bunch of spring games coming up. Florida's spring game is tonight at the Swamp. And we'll see Jack Miller, who started in the Las Vegas Bowl, going against Wisconsin transfer Graham Mertz. See who's going to be the starter there. I think Mertz has pretty much been given the odds-on to win that job, but we shall see what goes on there.
How unfortunate.
It doesn't sound like, I mean, if you're a Florida fan, are you really optimistic about next year?
I can't.
You be?
I tell you what.
What's to get optimistic
about?
From
the way the Billy Napier era started last year, with the atmosphere for that Utah game immediately put to be ranked, number 11?
Yeah.
All that optimism and everything, and it quickly evaporated last year. And now coming into this year, they knew Florida needed to get a quarterback. And it seemed like they might have missed out on their top targets. At least that's what it felt like to me.
Yeah.
And they settled with Graham Mertz.
If you got Graham Mertz and Jack Miller fighting it out, well, then you missed in recruiting.
There was a miss there.
Yeah, I mean, you had an opportunity. You have when you have an opening at a mega program, which I think Florida still fits in that, that top 25, obviously.
Yes.
When you have an opening at quarterback, that's what it's all about. I think a lot of these quarterbacks don't give a shiz where they play. They want opportunity immediately in a big-time conference with an opportunity to play right away. And if you can't go out and get a top quarterback in that situation, then I don't think it bodes well. Not to say that Graham Mertz can't be a good quarterback or Jack Miller can't be a good quarterback, but they just seem like they've lost a lot. And, when you're returning guys are in terms of your skill players, it doesn't seem like there's a lot there for Florida. We'll see, but when you look at what's going on in Tallahassee, now their spring game is going to be on Saturday. You've got a returning starter in Jordan Travis, who is going to be, I think, was already a preseason top 5 Heisman Trophy candidate. It's going to put up some huge numbers. They've got a really good and deep offensive line now. Their targets on the outside with Johnny Wilson and some of the guys that they brought in are just ridiculous. They did lose some running backs, but they've got Trey Benson coming back. They're loaded. They are absolutely loaded, and I don't know how much of the spring game is going to really just tell what's going on with them, because they've got a lot of guys coming back. They got Jaheim Bell, who's a big-ass tight end. They've never really had a great threat at tight end in a while, but this kid is something special. He's big. He's fast. Kyle Morlock is a guy that is also transferred in, 6'7" tight end. So they've got dual tight ends. It'll be interesting to see how they use those guys. Fentrell Cypress is a defensive back that comes in for Virginia. And, of course, Mike Norvell's done a great job with some of these transfers like Jared Verse and Trey Benson. And Verse is coming back, could have been a top 10 pick in this NFL draft. Trey Benson could have been a high pick in this NFL draft. And both of these guys are coming back because they'll probably make more money at FSU next year than they would as a rookie in the NFL, which is crazy.
Yeah, I think.
But it's true.
Yeah, Florida State's in a great spot. I think we both would agree. I know I have an idea at least of what they're going to look like this year.
Yeah.
But uncertainty with Florida. Miami is kind of in the same boat, I'd say, right now as Florida, where I don't know what I'm going to get out of Miami. I really don't know what I'm going to get. I don't know what I'm getting from the quarterback position. It's a big year for Mario Cristobal, I think, to kind of get some good fortune back in that program. because I think everybody's expecting much better from year one.
Yeah.
Out of Mario Cristobal. I think they were.
Oh, no question. And to get a beatdown like Florida State put on them.
Not great.
45-3.
Yeah.
That's, that's a shot.
Yeah.
That's a shot.
So I think you know what you're getting
and
from them.
And they're recruiting right now. I think their class is ranked 62nd for next year.
That's very early.
It's way early. But
Miami, to me,
Cristobal was supposed to be all about the recruiting.
I know, but I feel like Miami's one of those programs that it doesn't matter if they win 3 games or 4 games. They find a way to get, at minimum, in the top 25. And, I mean, his first year, they had him in the top 10.
Yeah.
So I think they have to keep building on that, and hopefully those guys pan out more so than not. Because if you keep going top 10 recruiting, eventually I think you're going to figure it out.
So USF's spring game is Friday nights on campus. It will be on campus. They're going to have a big bunch of great stuff for the fans there because Ray J will be in use, and I will be there for Taylor. I'm Swifty. And then, for Alex Galesh, what will this offense look like? What will it look like? Gary Bohannon will not be out there, but your boy will be out there.
Oh, my boy.
Yeah.
He's going to get a leg up on old Gary right away.
You think?
He's going to get a leg up right away. Byron Brown.
No Brian Petit, who's off to Auburn. Xavier Weaver and Jimmy Horn off to Colorado. Who's in Colorado?
Huh?
Who's the
Xavier
new coach?
Weaver and
Dion. Yeah, my bad.
You've done 2 things already in the minute of talking about USF.
Could have been your coach.
In the minute of hold on, this entire show, let's recap your USF takes today. Alex Galesh struck out 5 times on your end because of his gum smacking.
No.
Then you bring up Dion's
4.
name. And then you just did the other one there. You said Golish. Like
go. Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go, everybody. That's my best Jim Gray right there.
Let's go.
We don't have to listen to that anymore.
Brought to you by Hertz.
No, I'm thinking, listen, USF has a lot of issues, not issues, but question marks on offense, how they're going to replace those skill guys. I'm putting my faith in Alex Golish that he's going to find these guys and put them in this system that has worked everywhere he's been.
Yep.
It worked at UCF. It worked at Tennessee and with some players that a lot of people weren't aware of. And so I'm putting my faith that he's going to figure that out at USF because, again, schedule, conference, very weak. Very weak. So I think he has a good shot to turn this thing around maybe quickly. Who knows?
There's another transfer period after spring, right?
Mm-hmm.
That the portal opens back up. I would say USF and Miami and Florida have some work to do there. And they're all, I think, very attractive destinations because USF, you can come in and play right away, especially if you're a defensive player.
Yeah.
If you're a second-team defensive player anywhere in America, including, at Slippery Rock, come on down to USF.
You're a big boy. We need still have space.
Oh, my God. If you weigh over 300 pounds and you can walk, and we have a space for you along the defensive line at USF, we are not going to be picky with athletic ability. Just get your big ass down here, and we will plug you in. They just, they're just small and not very talented defensively, and they need more players. They need more players desperately. So we'll see what happens. All right, let's take one more break, and when we come back, we'll finish up with some Bucs talk as we get set for the Jason Light press conference today. Nothing more revealing than press conferences before the draft for GMs. We're going to learn so much today. Maybe not, but we'll talk about it when we come back. Just trying to keep it real here on the JP Peterson Show. Stay with us. Insurance coverage can be confusing and expensive. I mean, where do you start? Which companies can you count on to pay out fast and fair? Well, call the great folks at Italiano Insurance. It's a family-owned business. Jeff and Nat Italiano are carrying on the 60-year-plus tradition of giving amazing customer service and giving back to the community through their annual backpack drive for needy students and their support of the local pediatric cancer patients. But it's the customer service that sets them apart. They can shop all your insurance needs and save you big-time money. Don't hop on the internet and waste time looking at some bogus reviews. Talk to knowledgeable agents and not some voice-generated robot. These are confusing times for homeowners, and Italiano's team of experienced professionals can provide the right coverage for every situation: home, auto, business, life. It's Italiano for all the pieces of your life. Call 813-877-7799 or go to italianoinsurance.com. Well, Fitz the mortgage guy did it again. A listener heard his ad, was going to another big bank, but called Scott Fitzgerald at American Mortgage Services of Tampa, and Fitz saved him $618 on his monthly payment. Are you kidding me? Folks, that's big money. Rates are going up, they're going down, they're going all over the place. Scott will shop your loan and save you lender fees and get the best rates. Email him, scott@amstampa.com, or call 813-294-7595. That's Fitz, the mortgage guy. Lots of stuff going on right now, and these rates are going all over the place. You need somebody knowledgeable in the market that will work hard for you and get you the best deal. That's my man, Scott. He's done 3 loans for me, done thousands of loans for local folks here, works with a lot of the coaches and players in the area. He's the guy. 813-294-7595, or go to scott@amstampa.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's rock.
This is FanStream Sports with JP.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show as we get ready for the Jason Light press conference today, brought to you by American Mortgage Services, Scott Fitzgerald. Get him, scott@amstampa.com. If you're in the market for a mortgage, he is your man. He will get you the lowest rates and the lowest fees up front. So tell him JP sent you. Just send him an email, and you don't have to commit to anything with him. Just chat with him about where the market is right now, what they can do for you. There's a lot of different products out there right now that, if interest rates do come down, you can take advantage of that. So see what your options are. Hit him up, scott@amstampa.com. So today is the Jason Light press conference. We will be watching the Rays win their 13th in a row, so I'm going to beg out of that. I was going to head on over there and ask Jason Light. Jason, you got a lot of needs, obviously, long-term, but none bigger than the quarterback position. How in God's name could you pass on Will Levis or Hendon Hooker? A lot of mock drafts have them there sitting for you at 19. Guys that at one time or another were rated in the top 5 picks. How could you possibly pass on a quarterback in that situation when you don't have a long-term answer at quarterback? And, of course, maybe we do have a long-term answer. Kyle Trask, how do you know, JP?
No,
that Kyle Trask is not the long-term answer?
They don't.
They don't know.
They don't, because
they don't have a long-term answer, or they don't know.
If they believed in Kyle Trask, they wouldn't have had to bring in Baker Mayfield. If they believed in
that's not true, because you have to have you have to have a couple options.
But if Baker Mayfield's coming in here, I feel like the writing's on the wall. No,
I think so, but I think that's premature.
Also, if you believed in Kyle Trask, again, go back to Week 18.
The reason I think a lot of that is misguided, because I don't think people understand what a stranglehold Tom Brady had on that quarterback room. I heard somebody say Kyle Trask has been here 3 years and he hasn't started a game, or hasn't won the backup quarterback job.
I mean, that's a folly statement, the first one.
Well,
obviously.
Of course it is, and he hasn't won the backup quarterback job. I mean, Tom Brady maybe didn't want him to be the backup.
Okay, we'll take that one out of the equation.
So all that stuff
bottom line,
is meaningless.
Okay, well, bottom line, they don't know what they have in Trask.
They don't
Fair.
know.
Okay, and
which is why they got Baker Mayfield.
And if they really loved Baker Mayfield, he wouldn't be here on a 1-year, $4 million deal. With no long-term incentive.
Here's the deal. Why give him that when you want to see how he fits in your offense and you have time to figure it out? And you don't have the cap space anyway. So, I think we read into a lot of this stuff about what, I'm more of a prove-it guy. Let's give Kyle Trask an opportunity to win the job before we see what it is. But the bottom line is, the more options you have at quarterback, the better chance you got to get it right.
They're one of the few teams that had the luxury. Like, Hendon Hooker is the good example. See, I'm taking Will Levis out of the equation at the moment because I'm so focused on Hendon Hooker. If you're going to draft a Hendon Hooker, you want preferably to have somebody that can play before this guy gets healthy. You don't have to play him in the first season. The Bucs are probably one of the few teams in the league that have that luxury because they already have Baker Mayfield and Kyle Trask competing with each other. They don't have to go to Hendon Hooker year one, right? So I think that's what makes it a desirable kind of a spot, I guess, for Hendon Hooker. Obviously, he doesn't have any say in that, but the Bucs are one of those teams that can offer that to a Hendon Hooker. Whereas a Will Levis, and I feel like we've had this conversation, there'd be more of a calling, if you will. Like, we got to see this guy right away. Like, he's got to get in there, no?
Absolutely.
I don't think it'd be the same thing with a Hendon Hooker because obviously the injury.
No.
Will Levis, it'd be different. And then you got 3 guys in the room all competing with each other, and everybody's going to want to know, everybody's going to want to see Will Levis right away.
Yeah.
That's just a fact. That's just a fact.
What is the trade value for a Baker Mayfield? What is the trade value for a Kyle Trask? Because, you could trade Baker Mayfield. If you draft a quarterback, you could trade if they're, because Lord knows what the hell's going on in New York right now, what the hell's going on in Indianapolis right now. Nobody wants Lamar Jackson. Nobody, Aaron Rodgers' deal is not done. So, the quarterback market to me is crazy right now. And with those 2 deals not being done, it just adds a lot of intrigue to it. Do I think Aaron Rodgers is going to be starting for the Jets day one? Yes. Do I think Lamar Jackson is going to be starting for the Ravens day one? Yes. But there are possibilities out there now that doesn't happen. You just don't know. The bottom line for me is if you don't have a quarterback of the future and you have a chance to grab one of those guys, I think you got to do it, especially at 19. Because at 19, there are no assurances you could draft a complete bust at 19. You always think that guy's going to be great, but chances are he's not. He's not. And we have no idea what the quarterback's going to be, but it's the most important position. You don't have a long-term answer. The more options you have, the better off you are. So I still think it's in play, and I'm not going to be pissed if they use that now. If you use that 19 on a quarterback, boy, you better get the other ones. You better get the other ones right big time. And one of those guys, the Pewter Report wrote a story today about Jack Campbell, inside linebacker at Iowa, who is a big dude, 6 foot, almost 6'5", and 250 pounds, but incredibly athletic. These were, as they wrote in the Pewter Report, eye-popping numbers. First thing I read about this cat, I'm like 6'5". Oh my God, how athletic can he be? Well, he, and not that I'm a big fan of the 3-cone drill, but it does really show how fast and you change directions, how quick you can be. Let's see. Besides his side and athletic profile on mockdraftable.com, also highlights his broad jump and 3-cone drill. The former 128 ranked in the 94th percentile of linebackers. 94th percentile of linebackers, and 95th percentile with the 20-yard shuttle of 4.24. So his 3-cone and his 20-yard shuttle rank in those 94th and 95th percentile of linebackers that are 6'1", 6'2". So, he's a big boy, and he's got good hands. He's got a couple of interceptions in the last couple of years. He's not 4.42 like Devin White, but 4.65 is fast enough to be a good inside linebacker. 4.65 is really good for a guy that's almost 6'5", 250 pounds. That's remarkable. I'm gonna make him a tight end.
He's got the measurables for it.
Yeah, he certainly does. And they mentioned Luke Kuechly was 6'3", 238. And, we're not saying this guy's going to be Luke Kuechly, but he just might be. And listen, if I can get a 2 for Devin White, which you should be able to get a 2 and a 5, same thing that Roquan Smith brought, because that was in the middle of the season. Maybe now right before the draft, especially with Seattle, teams like Seattle out there with 2 1s and 2 2s, that you should be able to get something good for Devin White. And, and we had this long discussion yesterday on Devin White. We're not going to repeat that, but I still believe the best case scenario, if you can get a 1 or a 2 for Devin White, you ship him out faster than you should do it.
I don't think you're getting a 1 necessarily, but maybe you get a 2. I think Devin White has overplayed his hand. I don't think he has any leverage whatsoever. And honestly, the way the system is set up, nobody's going to have leverage in this situation, but I don't even think he has his tape to go off of. I don't know what his fallback is on anything with Devin White.
We're not saying PFF is the best grader in the world, but when
my
your
eyes can tell me what I.
But when you're graded in the bottom, what is it, 71 out of 90 or some ridiculous numbers?
Yeah.
And consistently been graded down there.
Mm-hmm.
You're not the best player on the defense. You're not.
Yeah.
You're not even the second best player, which is what Todd Bowles said.
Hey.
You're not, and. It's even worse when Levante David is not out there. He makes splash plays, but you got to be more consistent as an inside linebacker.
Yeah, and maybe he comes back to the Bucs. He might.
Devin?
That might end up being the situation. He ends up coming back and he plays out. But then again, like Scott said yesterday, there needs to be a big apology to Todd Bowles for doing this to him and to this team right now. And I wouldn't be so certain that he wears the C again next year.
How can you do that?
That's my opinion. I just don't think he should if he comes back.
If he comes back and he's still wearing the C, and there's not a major mea culpa to the fans and Todd Bowles, to me that's just the same old non-accountability. Do whatever you want. You're still going to be the starter. We're going to pay you. You're making $11.7 million this year. Yeah. I mean, come on.
Hey, by the way, I did want to, because we got about a minute or two here real quick. I just saw this come across. Anthony Richardson hears your criticism.
Oh, he does?
And everybody's. He wrote a long article here in the Players Tribune.
Oh.
Dear NFL GMs. Trying to clear up all these kind of misconceptions about him and these narratives and all that. And he tells his whole story. It's a lot to get into. I haven't read all of it. But I was going through some of it and everything, and I actually found he has a whole paragraph here where he wrote out what Kyle Trask meant to him that I think is very telling. And he describes him as like the smartest football player he's ever been around. Kyle Trask, that is. And he wouldn't know like anything without being behind Kyle Trask for those years. So I don't know how much. I mean, AR-15 obviously has a big vote of confidence for Kyle Trask. And you hear that a lot, that he's really smart and everything. And so, I don't know. I encourage everybody to go read it. It's just very telling here what he thinks about Kyle Trask.
That's interesting. And it's interesting that he wrote that to the GMs, too.
Yeah, and he says it here. He's like, I don't pay attention to all the noise, but I do hear the critics. I know people are picking me apart, and he's got it. It's a really good thing.
Welcome to the NFL.
Yeah.
You know? Hey, I'm pulling for the kid, man. I hope he has a great career. I don't think it's a good fit in Tampa, just so close to Gainesville and all that. But I'm not going to be. Listen, if somehow, some way, the Bucs draft Anthony Richardson, it's going to be a wild ride. Do you think the Jameis thing was a wild ride? This could be even more. We'll see what he turns into. He could be. He's every bit as physically gifted, and I think more so than Lamar Jackson in terms because he's a better thrower of the football. So we'll see. All right, that'll do it for today. We thank you guys so much for joining us. If you missed any of the show, you can always download our app, FanStream Sports, on your Apple phone there. And you can also always listen to us on FanStreamSports.com, on YouTube, on Instagram, and also, not Instagram, on Twitter and Facebook. And Apple and Spotify as the podcast. Have a great day, everybody. We're off to the Rays game. Go Rays, go Bolts, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.